Uh, yeah, we'll go with yes. Yes, definitely. I had right, yeah, but we already have them, so here we are. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Uh, I think I looked at them briefly, but it was like kind of like it's mercenary stuff, right? Yeah. I'll be honest, as far as yeah, it's kind of one of those things that they seem to change it all the time. So I'm not going to go out of my way to buy something that I'm probably not going to be able to use with the same army, like even a few months from now, maybe. So I'm basically ignoring it. Hmm. Of course. Mm. Can you not take it? Does it specifically say you can't take it in the faction of like? Oh, that's sad. Probably where it would be most useful. Which models are they? Out of curiosity. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and the ogre third in. I know what you mean. I have all three, funnily enough, but yeah, they're not good enough for that rule for sure. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's an interesting rule. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Can you lower it? Can you lower a six to nothing? Okay. Sometimes they don't do that. Don't let that you do that. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of weird. Can you only cast it once, or can you cast it any number of times for free? Oh, well. Hmm. It's like a different enough of a rule that like maybe it'll go somewhere. Yeah, there'll be some weird combo with it. Yep. Right. Right. It's kind of fun. It's kind of weird that they're better than Google. I bet that'll change. Yeah. Yep. Although apparently Soblight's at the bottom of the barrel competitively, huh? Did you see that? I only saw the picture. I didn't actually read anything into it. Oh, why would you do that? Oh, that's. I was like, man, Slaves to Darkness got dumpstered. Apparently, that is so weird. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, yeah, like, yeah. I feel like they should have just not instead of giving us just some really misleading data. But oh well. Yeah, just been like, but look at who's performing well to start out. I don't know. Yep. Holy shit. I guess. Hmm. Yeah, I believe it. We were coming. I feel like we were coming up with like a lot of things you could do. Like after looking at them for a little bit, it's like, yeah, and just the matter that it's actually the squigs are pretty straightforward too, and just like, oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's really easy to overlook. That's a weird thing. It's gonna be a yeah, yeah. I think so. It fulfills the intent of what they were going for. All right, let's get to the doors. Yep. Yeah, I basically made it through the allegiance abilities. Yep. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know. I guess what was my thought on it? There was to me there was a lot of seemingly it was there was a lot of ways of like build your own faction type of stuff, which is kind of cool. I don't hate that. There was definitely some duplication in abilities, I think, over it. But overall I thought it was cool. Or bad implications. I feel like anything that can stack is just like oops in this game anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I played the old book like once. That was about it. It was something like that, yeah. Yeah. I believe that was the case, yeah. I think that was always there. Yep. Yeah, it's when they're getting out. Yeah, it's when they're getting out of the boat that, it gets a little. Yeah. I think also, like, having to be like, if you're going to pick somebody up, it's gonna probably in a casual setting, it'll be fine. It's just like, "Oh, yeah, I moved my boat next to them and I picked them up." But, like, if they're not all within 3 inches of each other, like, you're gonna have to, like, kinda think about that, I feel like, which is gonna be weird, right? Like, you have to almost, like, make a concave for the boat to come pick them up if, like, the unit's big enough, right? Yeah, oh, can you move the fellas and then put them in the boat? Okay, okay, that's yeah. Okay, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that makes it a lot better. So that yeah, you move the boat and then you push the guys next to him, and then they go in the boat. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's interesting. They can actually shoot out of the boat, huh? Yep. Yeah, exactly. Hmm. It's interesting that you can target them directly. Maybe you always could. I don't actually know, to be fair. But yep. Oh, that's bizarre. But okay. Yep. I don't think there's a functional difference there, but maybe there is. Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely a downside to being in the boat, but it does keep them safe, so it's kind of like a trade-off there. Right, which is good. Yep. Oh, that you can hold it from a garrison, and why can you do that? Yeah, that does seem kind of weird, especially if the garrison, like, because clearly the building can't be right there. So yeah, that is weird. Yeah, that, that's probably just to get around weirdness. Like that's probably the safety clause, right? That they have, where it's like We don't want people to do weird ass shit because we didn't say this, so we say it. Yeah, oh, definitely. I think so. Right. Yeah. Oh, I think it's important to go over that as we're talking about it because it's very impactful. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so the so the interesting thing is, so let's say your goal is to charge them or whatever. It doesn't actually matter too much whether you use the command point there or not. I'm thinking because you can still move the unit right after they disembark. They don't count as having moved, or do they? Yeah. Oh, they do count as having moved. Oh, okay. Okay, that's mhm. Right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was. Okay, so that's what I was saying. So, like the benefit of using the command point is that you can get extra. You can basically use the boat's move characteristic instead. Is kind of what it is. Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a little extra movement and how much is based on what you're in and what have you. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Oh no, I thought that was very good. There was another thing that was just. Oh yeah, the fly high is just a command now. Yeah, that was the other thing I liked. Anyway. Oh, there's a ton. Yeah. Yep. Yes. I agree. Like once you wrap your head around the fact that like you can you can move and pick up, but you can't. But you can't move. You can't like move and then disembark without spending something. It's like there's like one way for one and another way for another kind of thing. Yeah. Normally, clearly rule breaking other stuff, but you know. Yeah, I think yeah. Once you wrap your head around what it's saying exactly, I think it's like, oh yeah, yeah, this makes sense to me. And I'm not gonna do the whole oh which way was it again? Yeah, it feels right. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely just. Yeah, it's got a nice flow to it. Yeah. I haven't seen that one, so Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Oh, yeah. And I feel like I was gonna say, like, other places we've seen 4 Up Rally, they've gotten rid of it too. Like, with the Yeah, um, and the Slaves book that they had to errata it before it was even out. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, that's cool. Oh, okay. That makes Huh. Alright. Yep. Yeah. It's a little more egregious. Yeah. Yeah, here it doesn't feel super bad because if your guys are getting into a fight, I guess it's good against shooting, if you're getting shot at. Yep. Mhm. So what other things can we take instead of it then? That's a much more reliable ability for sure. Yeah. So how far do what is the move characteristic of sky vessels in general? Oh, okay, that's what I would expect. Okay, so an extra 2 on that is it's definitely something. Yep. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, you can, like, target down their big thing before it even gets in your face at all. Yeah. That one might have some play. Sure. Or maybe in the future, it's something to come back to. Yep. Yeah, right. Mhm. Especially considering, like yeah, that's, like, is value on value, especially like, you kill it once and still not dead type of thing, and you can keep it going. Yeah, I think it is. I think so too, based on what I know of the units available. You're muted. Uh-oh. So they've been have they been hearing me the whole time, but not you? Oh man.
Okay, that should be better. Yeah, I see the green bar going. Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, I just checked it. It was in fact true.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is gonna be an interesting recording.
Yeah, I think it's too late to do anything about that.
Yep.
Um, damn.
Damn.
Oh well. All right.
Mm.
Let's see.
And we'll start over.
Um, I think they got the gist. I think you basically can. I don't know. Should we start over?
I don't know.
Probably not.
It's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. I should have had the thing up.
Yeah. Well,
I
thanks,
forgot to.
Rodham, for letting me know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Amendments. So always take what you owe. At the start of your first hero phase, pick one friendly Arcanaut Company unit. Until the start of your next hero phase, each model in that unit counts as 2 models instead of 1, for the purposes of contesting objectives. Pretty powerful stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see how good Arcanaut companies are. But the main thing about them is that they're 10 for 100, so they're pretty dirt cheap. Which that's powerful.
Yeah, they've always
itself.
been kind of like that. I think.
What's that?
Yeah. They've always been kind of. They're the cheap boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'd be enticed by that. Yeah, prosecute wars with all. Yeah, prosecute wars with all hastes. Once per turn in your movement phase, when you make a run roll for a Kharadron Overlords unit, you can roll 2d6 instead of a single dice.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that one.
And I think it's fine to bury the lead on this. There's a lot of ways that you can give your boats run and shoot and charge.
Ooh, okay. So that makes it even better.
Yeah, if you put it on a boat, it's basically add 2d6 to the movement.
That's pretty sweet.
Yep. So like we can make these things like zip across the battlefield. Sounds like fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last amendment is trust your guns. Once per turn in your shooting phase, you can reroll 1 hit for one of your attacks made by a friendly Kharadron Overlord unit.
Good lord.
So, I guess you get to reroll the cannon once.
Well, no, isn't it reroll 1 hit of 1 too?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 hit of 1. Oof.
I don't see myself ever taking that.
That one's rough.
Yep.
And like rough to remember, and
yeah, I'm not taking that.
it's not super impactful. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's okay, but it's like if you miss with the cannon, that really sucks, right? But
yeah, and I think they hit
like
too.
Man, remembering that shit is just like that's tough. I don't know. I don't like the design space there.
No,
this is what I'm saying.
I'm like,
it's probably a fine rule. Might be okay. I don't know.
It might be fine because like the ironclad like massive cannon is probably 2 to hit anyway. That doesn't super matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But it would have been nice if they just said pick a unit and you get to reroll hits of one with that unit, so it had value on more than just your boat.
Yeah, I don't know.
In my opinion, yeah.
Not a big fan.
No. Overall, like the first 2 I think are very good. And I think it depends on the list you want to bring. Of whether you want your Arcanaut to count as 2 or if you want to have a boat be very fast, basically.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things you're looking for when picking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then footnotes. There's no reward without risk. Once per battle in your charge phase, you can attempt to charge with one friendly Kharadron Overlord unit within 18 inches of an enemy unit. If you do so, roll 3d6 for the charge instead of 2d6. So, I see a play pattern with this where like you put them somewhere near-ish by with the boat, right? And then you can guarantee a charge with the unit.
So now this is pretty much just talking about the melee balloon guys, right? Do they have anything else they can charge with that makes any sort of sense?
Again, like I'm not super familiar with the profiles. I didn't dig into them too much, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I know there's a sub faction that on the charge gives your stuff +1 to hit and wound,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, so that makes anything
Quick.
kind of reasonable.
Well, if you have shit attacks, it doesn't.
Yeah,
if you know what yeah, like if your attacks are already bad, like that doesn't make them better. It doesn't make them that bad much better.
right.
Your maximum damage is 10. You still can only do 10 damage. I guess what I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to say.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like pretty good against. That's probably fine against like deck chair sitters, right?
Deck chair sitters?
Like the, 10 ghouls, right?
Oh,
that
I
kind
see
of
what you're
thing?
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like sitting there on the objective, like kicking
Yep.
back. Like,
Yep.
you got it, Terrorgeist, or like stuff like that, right?
yeah. Like, yeah, it'll go.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can kill them easy enough, but
Yeah, and it has to be
I don't
carried an
think anything
Overlord
really-
unit, so it's not like you can bring hammers as an ally and use that with
Right.
them too. Which,
Yeah.
fine, that's fair.
I mean, that makes sense. You would,
Yeah.
if they had done that, it would have been like, oops,
Yeah.
and here we go.
And yep, here's where hammers become an auto include.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah. So I'm fine with that. There's no trading with some people. Once per battle, at the end of the enemy shooting phase, pick one friendly Skyfarer unit that was targeted by a shooting attack in that phase. That unit can immediately shoot. I like that design space, actually. What do you think?
sorry, I needed to reread that one.
Oh, fair. Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you get shot at once per game, you can shoot back.
Kind of makes your opponent not want to shoot at stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good counter for like another shooting. Like if they just have like a small amount of shooting, it's just like it feels like it's like, ooh, I don't even want to use this because I'm just gonna get wrecked back, right?
Yeah, like
It's like if you just had say like a unit of the Marty Reavers, right?
Yep.
It's just like oh, you brought it just because, and it's like, oh, I might go get some use out of it, some damage. It's like, well, actually, I might just be giving them more damage on me.
Yeah, and it's
then
not like
I'm
shoot
getting out
at
of it
that
at all.
unit too, right? It's you can shoot at any unit.
Yeah, right. So it's like I don't even know if I want to have this anymore. So yeah, I think it's good against that kind of thing.
It's really basically chip damage shooting. It's very good against.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like how this reads too is like if you have this, and you're like, let's say like what's a really good shooting army, Lumineth, right?
Mhm.
It basically says you better delete this
Yeah.
or cripple it, right?
Yep.
So it kind of like forces them it forces them to not split fire, which I guess the value of that is pretty dubious because I don't think you usually split fire anyway. But I don't know.
Well, the interesting thing is that you don't even have to commit to it. So it's not like you go, oh, you're shooting at this thing? Okay, I'm going to shoot back and then, see what happens. You can just be like, okay, you shot a bunch and, well, you failed miserably at killing this guy because you rolled bad. Great. I'm going to now just blast you back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's quite good.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
mean, sometimes you'll get literally no use out of it, right? So, like, there's that to consider too.
I think even if you, like, never use this once, right? And, like, I think it just, like, it forces your opponent to be certain play patterns, or else they get punished. And I think that's valuable enough.
Well, so what I more meant is, like, think about that against you. Like, it does nothing. Literally nothing in most of your armies.
Oh, because I don't have shooting?
You just don't have it.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, and, like, most of the lists I played have no shooting whatsoever.
Right.
So, I feel like there's plenty of lists that it's just, oops, you don't have an ability.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then maybe it's good enough against the lists that do that it's worth it anyway. And, like, it's a meta call kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, maybe there's enough, maybe generically there's enough shooting that, like, 60-70% of lists say have something that it'll be good against, so it's reasonable to bring it even if you hit a few duds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think I think you hit on something right too. It's like sometimes this does absolutely nothing. You're absolutely right. But I think when it's good, it's very good.
Yeah, I do think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that might be just worth it enough.
Yep.
Feel like I don't really plan on charging. And let's talk about the other one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So without our ships, we are not. Once per battle, at the start of any phase, pick one friendly sky vessel. That unit can receive up to 2 commands in that phase instead of 1. Which, interestingly enough, there's a run and shoot command, sky or fly high, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really cool ones, and I think there's some value with that. So like maybe it's just you pick this one all the time instead of the other
It
one.
might be, yeah. The
Yeah.
other two might be too situational overall.
Yeah. I like them though. Like, oh man, I think there's some interesting choices there, and I think we can speculate which one we like the best, but it's going to take somebody who knows the army pretty well.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
I
pretty
agree.
sure different lists have different pulls to different ones.
Yeah, I think like if I was to make a list to start with, I would just pick the last one.
I
Right?
agree.
Like first try, like that one's gonna get me something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that one.
The lowest brain power needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
But
I think that's
that might
fun.
not mean it's the right one.
And what I suspect is that it's going to be the right one for most lists.
Mhm.
And the first one with the 3d6 charge is going to be an army with a very specific plan.
Oh yeah,
That
oh
wants
definitely.
something like that, right?
Yep.
And
Although the interesting thing about 3d6 charges also is like it's still not necessarily reliable. You know?
yeah,
I guess you could re-roll it. Well, no, you can't because you can't receive. Oh no, wait, that's not a command.
it's
So
not.
yeah,
No,
so you could re-roll it.
you
in
could
that
re-roll
case.
it.
And so it's kind of like I need to make this 9-inch charge, and I'm almost certainly going to.
Yeah, or even like 7-inch. You know.
Yeah, it's just like It's like this is absolutely crucial. I make this charge, so I'm going to.
Yeah. I think it's going to be on like an army that has like a very big unit that wants to lock something up.
Mhm.
Or like some shenanigans with the boat. Which
Yeah,
I'm not foreseeing right now, right? Like I don't have the
the
know-how of
boats
this
never
army to
really
put that
felt
together.
like, oh, I'm a melee unit,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Maybe they're better now. Or maybe they were always good at that, and I don't know anything. But I never thought they were.
I've never seen people run the melee balloons, but I haven't seen the army much either, so.
Is there a melee balloon? Oh, the balloons. Sorry, not the boats. Yep,
Yeah.
balloons. The one time I played, I played in one tournament ever. And that one tournament ever, the first person I played against played melee balloons.
Oh, really?
So I know something about melee balloons. Like, a little bit.
Were you
I ate
threatened
them
by
with a
them?
dragon. It was great.
Yeah.
But
Well, and that was their first edition book too, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. Even.
I think it was.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think there's like a pretty good split of selections here. Like, I think there's some clear winners here, but I think
there's enough play that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's ways of taking more of them and stuff.
Yep. Which is cool.
Yep.
You want to talk about the Iron Sky command abilities?
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. We'll talk about Fly High first, because that was like a fundamental thing with the army before.
Yep.
And I think it works pretty much the same exact way. Must be a friendly sky vessel more than 3 inches away from enemy units. And then you can pick it up and set it anywhere on the battlefield outside of 9 inches. I think before, you could do it in combat, though.
Oh, I think that's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of big.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, because that was like their way of getting out of dodge, if I remember right. Maybe I'm not remembering that right.
Yeah, I could totally be wrong. If anybody in the chat knows, like, that'd be cool. Yeah. Let me know. But yeah, it's still very good. Like, just teleport on a command.
Yeah.
Like, Flesh Eater Quartz has that, and I freaking love that. And, like, this can bring things with it, too.
Oh, yeah, you can bring a whole pile of pain with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they can shoot afterward.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. And that could be one of your 2 that you issue to your boat once per game.
Yep.
Let's see. Combat landing. So you can use this command ability at the end of your movement phase. The unit that receives this command must be a friendly transport vessel. Any units embarked on this transport vessel can immediately disembark. So we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah.
So you can basically get your transport's worth of movement. So like you can, like, let's say the point is like 14 inches away, and you're in your sky vessel. If you deploy now and you only move 6, you don't make it.
Yeah.
14 disembark, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely use cases for it.
As you do. Yep.
Yep.
Powerful ability. Last one I really like too. Disengage. You can use this command ability in your movement phase. The unit that receives the command must be a friendly sky vessel that has not yet moved in this phase. This unit and any units embarked in it can retreat and still shoot in that turn.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Powerful.
That's like that's kind of like the other side of if we're remembering right, and that you could fly high out of combat before. This is kind of like the replacement for it now.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable replacement.
Yeah, you can't just like go onto the other side of the board, be like, no, I'm out of here. You have to kind of stay somewhere nearby, but at least you can still kind of do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess with that one footnote too, where you can double issue a command. This could be your first one.
Oh yeah, you could retreat out and then fly high away.
Yeah.
It's certainly more expensive. It's like a full ability plus, 2 commands. But yeah, absolutely you could.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable, and like that's probably gonna happen in a game or two.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's some cool like playing with the rules optionality. I really like that design.
Me too.
But overall, I think 3 for 3. All these are pretty winner. What did I say? All killer, no filler.
All killer, no filler. Yeah, no, they really are.
Yeah.
Actually, like I'm kind of surprised. Oh,
Me too, honestly.
all killer, no filler. Yeah.
Yeah, there's usually one stinky one, right?
Oh, there's always a stinky one.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the articles, the footnotes, and whatever.
Yeah.
There's a stinky one in each.
Yep.
At least.
Alright, let's talk about sub-factions. If I recall, some of these are like really cool, and then some of them just seem like generically interesting. But I feel like there's a lot of pretty good choices here, which is always nice. First one, Barak Urbaz, the Market City.
Oh, you know what's interesting is these are out of order in the PDF. I noticed.
Oh, are they?
Because I was expecting Barak Nar to be the first one. It's actually on the next page.
All right. Well, that's the main one. That's the main city, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main city.
Do you want to just
Barak Urbaz is not the main city, yeah.
Okay, fine. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Skyports. All right, Barak Nar, city of the first sunrise. We'll do it in the right order then.
Yeah.
Okay. Start of your hero phase. Roll a dice for each friendly Barak Nar hero on the battlefield, including any that are embarked. For each 4-up, you get an extra command point.
That's a lot of command points, potentially.
Yeah, and we talked about how all those commands are very good. We didn't really mention like how command point hungry this army probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah. So, this is cool. This will be a good way to keep fueling those main abilities. It seems like a pretty good all-comer take.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because you can, like... Your chances are you're getting a lot of extra command points.
Yeah.
It is at the start of your hero phase, but I think that's okay, because all the special ones are on your hero phase. So you can kind of, like, freely... Like, if you're going second in the turn, you can, freely spend your command points, and then get a pile more the next turn.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated the idea if it was at the start of the battle round.
No, because then you have a clearer idea of what you can do on the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been... I think that would have been better and fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. This is what we have.
It's like... I think that's like a minutely better thing, though, overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that. I think this will be a pretty common pick.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems to do everything you want to do.
Yep.
Pretty
I mean, sometimes you'll
straightforward.
get nothing out of it and you'll lose a game, but
And be sad. Yeah, so maybe
Darn
not
that.
then. Yeah.
well, but I think that's rare. But
Yeah. Alright, what's the next one? We got Barak Zilfin, the Windswept City. You can pick one additional great engine work for your army. So, we didn't get to those yet, because they're after this section with the enhancements. But I guess what the engine works are, they're basically artifacts that you pick for your boat. They're different
Uh,
like machinery pieces.
yeah, I didn't. I don't think I actually got to those. Actually, I think I stopped a little bit before that.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's what they were before. So I imagine that's what they are now.
Yeah. We'll keep those in mind as we go and talk about them before. Or in
Yep.
the later section rather.
We'll know
But
how good this one is.
yeah, because I don't
Gotta
quite
look
know
at
how
what
to
the
evaluate.
second best one is, and that's how good this ability is.
Yeah, exactly. And if there's two like insane ones, well there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And I think you can get up to 3 of them in this book, because I think there's a command trait that lets you pick another one too.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's what I was thinking with like overlapping stuff to
Yeah.
some extent. Yeah.
But I don't think that's inherently bad.
No.
Yeah.
Neither.
Let's see. Battletome, City of the Sun. Add 1 to hit and wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by friendly Scafarer units that made a charge move in the same turn. So, this one is like of dubious value, in my opinion. I noticed that a lot of stuff in melee hits on 4s, and so you're bringing it to 3s.
This is like the kind of thing that in a different army would be like, holy shit, I take that every time.
Yeah.
And that in this army's like,
I don't even know.
doing anything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I take it at all, really.
I'll be honest, I'm glad because they were going to do this either way. They always do. In the shooting armies, they're always like, here, try to be melee.
Yep.
And whatever. So, but at least they like pushed it a little bit, didn't make it like totally bad.
Yeah.
Like, in another army, that would be really good.
Can you imagine that?
It's still probably not good enough, but...
Right?
What was that?
Can you imagine that in, like, Nighthaunt?
Oh, yeah, right? Like, it's just, you're getting diced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's a powerful rule. I like that it's Skyfarer units, too. And, like, not the boats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there might be a use for this, and I might be with the 3d6 charge footnote, too.
Like, yeah, it's if there's a melee unit, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. Alright, now Barakambar. Or Boz. Let's see, what is it? The subtleties of the code? Yep. You can pick 1 additional article for your army. And you cannot pick an article that's already been picked. Okay. So I picked this and I get +2 move and a 4-up rally.
Yep.
Probably fine.
Yep, that seems good.
Yeah. I think it incentivizes less boats, which is fine.
I mean, if that's the way you want to play, then
Yeah,
there you go.
because like you're gonna want to get the rally, and then the last one was like, how did I not remember that?
I remember it being okay too, but I don't remember it either.
Oh yeah, you pick 1 enemy model or 1 enemy unit, and you get +1 to wound it for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that one's actually. I think that one has.
So maybe you put a lot of boats, and then you pick that.
Yeah, then you just blast something away, and
Yeah.
you move your boats faster.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I think that might actually be good.
Is this one
Because like
better
being
than
able to just like target
the
something
command
down.
points?
Now it doesn't even have to be like a single model, like a monster, right? Like you could pick
It's
their
1 unit.
Yeah, you could just pick like their biggest hammer or something and just be like, nah, fuck that thing. We're gonna shoot it off the table before you get to do anything with it.
Yeah. So someone's like, I have a unit of 6 Varangard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just gonna blow that thing to hell.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. There's something there. I think.
There's
I think you
obvious
can almost
power here
always
to
find
me.
a good target for that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
Is it better than command points though? That's the thing.
I was going slightly back to that article might be the one to pick,
Yeah.
and then just because of how much like fuck you it can do to one thing, right?
Yeah.
But is it better to take 2? So like okay, let's say for instance that article in my brain is going to like actually that's pretty good. So is +2 movement better for all your sky vessels better than a pile of, we'll say, average of 2 extra command points?
Yeah.
So I guess that's the trade-off there.
And I guess that one has like a list building restriction where it makes you want to bring more heroes.
Yeah. And well, and then And then this one has a list building restriction. Well, it kind of it doesn't. It doesn't, because you could take the rally instead of like the ship movement.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too.
I don't know. Like, this seems good to me.
Well, just the very fact that we're talking about it and we're not sure, I feel is good.
Yeah.
Like, even if someone solves it eventually, like, at least there's a little bit of thought going into it, so it's probably closer than...
Yeah, I think about, like, the solved meta, too. It's like, there's always going to be people trying to add a wrench to that, right?
Right.
And good. And so, like, I just think even, like, if it's solved to not be, like, quite the strongest one, there's still play to this, and that might be one of the tools to unhinge it a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Or if you're playing casually, it's probably just fine.
Yeah, that's what I think, right? It's not embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, it's
it
worst
may
case
even be the
scenario,
best
it's
one.
pretty
Like, I
good.
don't know.
Huh?
Yeah. It may even be better. I don't know.
Yeah. I like this better than +1 to hit and wound on your Skyfarers, right? Like, this might be my second favorite one.
I don't know. Let's see what the other ones are.
Yeah, okay. Barak Mornar, the City of Shadows.
I think this one's new. Which is...
Oh, that's cool, actually.
I don't think it existed before. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure which ones existed, so you're probably right. You would know more than me.
I did vaguely read that book back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, so I might just be misremembering.
So this is an interesting rule. It has, like, Lady Olander's passive, which is roll dice each time an enemy model issues a command within 12 inches of a friendly Barak Mornar unit. On a 5-up, that command is not received. The point is still spent.
I don't know what to think of that. I'll be honest. Like, that actually seems like it could be really good. Like, you could mess up someone's plans real hard.
Yeah, I think...
Or like, introduce, like, unreliability in something that they really want to have.
So I've played with and against that.
Mm-hmm.
With Night Hunt, and actually Skaven has a way to get it. And a very unreliable, but a way to get it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it happen. And most of the time, this does nothing.
Okay.
But there's one game I saw where it stopped a Terrorgeist from double combating.
Oh, that's really huge.
Right? And like,
so most of the time, nothing. And do you have to be within 12 inches of it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is probably a nothing.
I'm guessing.
If you see that it doesn't normally do anything, but also you have to be within 12 inches for it to work, like...
Oh, the other ones are within 12 inches, too.
What was that?
The other instances of this rule are within 12 inches as well.
Well, but it's more relevant here.
Yeah.
Is my point, I guess, because they don't want to be within 12 inches normally, right?
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to be, so it's going to have effects, but you're generally trying to stay away, so it's not going to be as impactful. It's not like you're going to run up and be like, I might eat all your command points, eat all your command abilities. You're going to be like, no, I'm going to try to stay away from you, and maybe eat one.
So is there, like, enough to tilt the factor into, like, if your boat gets charged, like, could that make or break it dying or not? And then you get a chance to get away.
Yeah, like maybe that's... And I mean, I think that's the use case, right?
Yeah. I think that's, like, the design principle, even.
Yeah. Or, like, you, like fly high outside of 9, and then when you shoot, you might eat their all-out defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's so unreliable.
Or you could eat their, like, reroll charge.
Yeah, like...
Which, that would be pretty good.
Like, on the 5-up, though, right? Like, you can't...
Yeah, oh no, it's unreliable, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it might eat a few over the course of a game. Is that going to get you enough? Well, okay, I'd say almost certainly not enough, because Barak Nar can just get you, a reliable 2 more command points a turn, and this might get rid of 1 or 2 command points over the whole game.
Yeah.
It's probably not good enough.
But you know for a fact that we're gonna see, like, somebody, like, deny a charge with this once, and it's gonna absolutely win them a game they had no business winning.
Oh yeah, probably.
And then they're gonna be like, see, this thing's broken, and like, oh,
Broken's
it worked out for you very well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
It worked out for you that one time. And now
yeah.
can you replicate?
This is a cool rule, incidentally, on a model that you're bringing for a lot of other things.
Yeah, but like taking a whole subfaction for it.
It seems
Probably
like a
not.
huge
Probably
ask
not
to
there.
me.
Yeah, me too.
But like, when it does work, it's like undeniably powerful.
Yep. It's
So-
like what it's a subfaction that has a lot of confirmation bias built in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because you'll see the one time that it works, and you're like, see, it works.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like, well, look at all the times it did actually nothing.
Yeah. But I like that it's every unit. But like, I also like that it's smartly written, so you don't get to roll for each unit in range.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, because can you imagine if you're like, oh, I have 5 guys with you, and I get 5 cracks at that apple?
Yeah. No,
That'd be obvious
stupid.
nonsense.
Yeah, that's obvious nonsense.
But yeah, man, like, there's something that I don't know. Like, it's gonna do amazing things 1 out of like every 5 games, I feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're underestimating it. I don't know. I don't think so, though.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the competitive one is.
Yeah.
But like, also like, it's good enough too if like you love the city's lore that it's not gonna be like just pure bad to run, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, that city seems like it has pretty cool lore
Yeah.
based on being a city of shadows and
yeah,
stuff.
of course. Yeah, somebody's probably like a huge fanboy of it.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
like, that's a really cool rule.
Yeah, just run it if you want to.
Yeah. And then the last one, this one's super weird. So, Duardan priests know the following prayer in addition to any others. I don't know how many priests are in this army.
I was gonna say I can't even think of one. So
Yeah.
I'm
So-
sure I obviously there is one, and I'm not thinking of it. But
And like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it does not work on like allies because I can think of a lot of like cities of Sigmar dwarf priests. But I don't think they get hit by I'm pretty sure they don't get hit by this.
oh yeah, because they don't get the keyword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that immediately out the window. But what does the prayer do? So
Oh wait,
Antidote-
no, it says allied Duardan priests.
Oh,
No, I
missed
think
that
it
entirely.
specifically means them. Actually,
It does specifically mean them. Okay.
Weird.
Okay, I missed that somehow.
Huh.
And that's very crucial. Okay.
I missed that too. So maybe there aren't any actually, and it literally means allied.
Yep. Cool.
Okay,
That's
That's
so
weird.
weird. Okay.
that is really bizarre.
So, how it works. Yeah, there's some really good dwarf priest allies. Alright. So, Rune of Ancestral Guidance is a prayer that has an answer value of 3, range of 16. Pick one friendly Argonaut company or Gunstruck Thunderer's unit, wholly within range. Still, the start of your next hero phase, an unmodified 6 for attacks made with missile weapons by that unit. Cause the number of mortal wounds to the target equal to the damage characteristic, and that attack sequence ends. So, to me, like, you took priests a lot in this army for, Curse, with the 6 up or mortal wounds. This has some obvious upsides and obvious downsides compared to Curse. So, like, Curse is, like, it's only 1 mortal wound instead of the attack characteristic, the damage characteristic.
Mhm.
Which is obviously weaker. And it's an enemy unit within 9 inches? And this is an allied unit within 16, so the range is much more generous.
Yeah.
But the obvious downside is, like, you can't just, like, dogpile your whole army on that unit now. But, like, if you bring a couple and they both, like, you have a curse on one and then this on the other, 6 is the mortal wound. That's, like, a lot of fucking damage.
Oh yeah.
So, like, this to me, like, if there's, like, one unit that's, like, really good to double reinforce, this is the thing that, like, brings it right over the edge.
That would be a lot of damage.
Yeah. And you know what? The allied priests do a lot of stuff that, like, you really want in this army. And, like, I think one has, like, deny 2 spells tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a rule that you don't have, like, much of in this army, and that's a good way to getting it. They're pretty cheap. I don't know. I think this one's pretty good.
It does seem it now. Now that we're talking about it a little bit.
That's my gut reaction.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little swingy, but like if you have a good volume of attacks with something like this,
I think there's some power here, but I think it
Yep.
requires a very specific list.
It probably does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it requires a very big unit that can fit on a boat. So, like, I think we got to look at Arcanaut Company and Thunderers. My
Yep.
gut instinct is that the way to build this is a unit of 15 Thunderers on a boat.
Yeah, that's my
with
that
a
is my
priest.
gut too.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
but that might be really good.
It sure might be.
Yeah, so
No
we'll talk
joke.
about that when we get to the unit. But
Yep.
overall, which city are you living in, Bill?
Honestly, that one sounds really fun. That last one.
I was gonna say that one too, honestly.
Yeah. Although I'm usually not a fan of bringing allies and stuff, but like, I think it's undeniably powerful.
I like the idea of allies sometimes, and I
Oh,
like
yeah,
it for
that's
an army that's like so thin, you know.
Yeah, that's for the record, that is a total personal preference thing, not a commentary on how good they are or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I like allies is like if there's like one really good one that's like a hero or a monster or something, I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 8th edition how like all the armies were just like soup nonsense for 40k.
Oh yeah.
Like that makes me sad.
Yes, that makes me sad
But
too.
like stuff like the Mind Stealer's Phalanx when it was like one of the best ally options you had.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was super cool. And like having a
Yep.
priest like that feels like that same design space.
It feels really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Um
So now that's so I would assume that there's actually no Kharadron Overlord priest then.
I don't think so. Alright, so I
And
just had a thought that immediately shut down, but I saw allied Dwarden priests. But I was like, oh, if it's allied priests, that opens up Stormcast Eternals, and you could get like double translocate, and then have like this kind of thing going on too.
Oh goodness
But
gracious.
nope, it's just the
But
dwarf
no,
priests.
it's Dwarden. Yeah.
And I guess Fire Slayers. There's some pretty good ones out there too.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I mean Fire Slayers are all about their priests, right?
yeah, and I kind of like Flavorly too that it's like locked to priest or to Dwarden too.
Mm-hmm.
So like it doesn't really feel that far out of like bounds there.
Yep, I agree.
All right, cool. I like that one the best. Yeah, but I think the 4-up command points one and then the extra article are pretty good too.
No, I think those are good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, command traits. Alright, Grudge Bearer. After deployment, you pick one enemy hero, double the damage inflicted by each successful attack made with his general's weapon that target that hero. I don't really care about that. What do you think?
Oh, sorry, I was like concentrating on like just getting the brown on my thing.
Oh, that's fine.
Perfect, and I totally missed it.
You
That
basically
happens.
pick one. So your general can do double damage against one enemy hero.
I actually thought that one could be cool potentially. If you have something that's good enough, like actually doing damage at
Mhm.
range. But I don't think any of the transports are heroes, right?
No.
So it's really just like a dude can do double damage.
Yeah.
And not even like the unique dudes.
Right.
So, well, I think there's only one, but... And then I don't think there's anything that's good enough shooting. That the double damage is good enough.
There's... My problem with that is, like, a lot of your, heroes are very low volume of attack.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Even with their guns, they're like a couple shots. And there's like a bunch of heroes in this book that have damage 3 weapons. So being damage 6 is actually hilarious.
It's kind of enormous, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I just think there's better.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, let's go through other ones. So, Cunning Fleetmaster. At the end of your enemy movement phase, you can pick one sky vessel within 12 inches of this general, and more than 12 inches from enemy units. That sky vessel can make a normal move. Like that one, for example.
Yeah.
Like, that seems fucking awesome.
Alright, so hear me out with the previous one, though.
Sure.
So you... So you take the article that lets you... What was it? Add was it add 1 to wound or reroll wounds? Or
Add 1 to wound.
Add 1 to wound. You pick that one too, and like you can kind of pick the same guy and then like really mess that thing up.
Yeah.
If it's like, say, like, I don't know, like a big unique hero like Nagash or whatever, like some god model that you're playing against.
Yeah.
Cool. Could be something there.
All right, I'll say it
more
seems
reliably,
obviously
double the
fun.
damage. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's probably not good.
Yeah.
There's some kind of combo there.
Yeah, I think it's probably reasonable. Like, that seems like the perfect path to glory. Like, command trait, honestly.
Oh, sure. So I'm just saying, like, if like the meta shifts to like god models again, like there might be something there, right?
You might be right. Yeah,
I don't know. That was just my thought.
I'll be willing to concede that. Yeah, it seems like a narrow meta pick, but it might be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, let's see. So, Cunning Fleetmaster, a 12-inch movement. That's obviously good. With it has to be outside of 12 though. That's a pretty big bubble and pretty easy to kind of shut off.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah. Let's see. A Scholar and an Arcanaut. You can pick one additional footnote for your army. You cannot pick a footnote that your army already has. Okay. So having two of those are like the once per game abilities. That might be something fun.
Did we like 2 of those? I can't remember.
There is a 3d6 charge one. There is the
the shoot back.
2 commands. Oh man, there's one more that was actually.
Yeah, wasn't it the shoot back one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I can see taking 2 of those.
Yeah, easily.
Potentially.
Honestly.
Yeah.
There's a hero that might invalidate this because it allows you to swap through. Footnote, basically.
Oh, so why would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. But like, if you're trying to like really minimize heroes, this might be an option.
Mhm.
All right. Grundstock. Friendly Grundstock units have the battle line or battlefield role. In addition, once per turn, the general can issue a command to a friendly Grundstock unit without the command point being spent. I don't know how good this is. I like the design space a lot, though, of like a command trait that makes a unit battle line. That just seems to add a lot of options.
That's interesting. Yeah.
The ogres
kind of like you have to have a specific general thing, but it's written in a different way, so like kind of anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But it like eats an enhancement on you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't know how good Grundstock are. They might be sick. They might be terrible.
Those the Thunderers?
I think Thunderers have that, and I think there's another one too. So it might unlock multiple battle line options.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. That is actually kind of cool. I don't know if it's like strictly competitively the best one, but I guess it depends. And I like instead of like just being like, oh, you unlock this as a battle line. It's like you unlock it as a battle line and then command point economy too.
Actually, that is a question. What are the battle line for this army? Or is it only Arcanauts unless you take this command trait?
You know what? I think I wrote it down. So actually we can just scroll up to the points in this PDF.
Yeah, they were at the top, right?
Yep. So the only base battle line is Arcanaut Company.
Okay. And I don't think any of the whatchamacallits gave additional ones, right? Sub-factions?
They do, actually.
Oh, they do? Are they just not written there, or did we just kind of gloss over that bit?
I think we glossed over it because it's right here.
Okay.
Barak Nar gives Thunderers.
Okay.
And Sky Wardens belong to Barak Zan. And Barak Urbaz gives the Gun Hauler the battle line role.
Okay. So there's plenty of ways to get it. Okay.
Yep. And then Engine Rakers have Engine Masters as a battle line, make them a hero too. Or make them battle.
Yeah.
Engine Masters as a if it includes an Engine Master, you don't even need to make it your general.
Oh, wow.
That's sick. I like that.
Alright, so that's leading me to believe that this command trait is probably meaningless.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because there's so many ways to get so many different battle lines.
Yeah.
That you'll probably just have enough. But maybe not.
Unless you
Maybe.
really want a specific city that it's not a battle line in, right?
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe there's use. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one, we're gonna have to come back to later when we talk about the Aetheric Navigator, but it basically lets you reroll the dice of the Aetheric Navigator's ability. And I think,
Yeah, I'll have to come back to that.
yeah, I think this one might actually be good, but we'll see. I think overall, though, I think Cunning Fleetmaster is like by far the best one.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess one lets you get a greater engine, another great engine work. We mentioned that earlier. I just forgot to mention it here. But whatever. That one might be fun too.
I don't know. Cunning Fleetmaster. It actually is really restricted. Because I was like, oh, if they move close to you and want to charge you, like
You can't move
you
away
can
from
just
that.
get out of the
yeah.
way. And no, you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you have to be within 12 inches. So what? So it's probably really powerful, but I can't see it without playing the army,
Yeah.
you know? Because I can't think of the situations that I might be in where that is oh yeah, and I can then move this boat in the way of their charge or something. You know.
Actually, let's look at the Grunstock too. Let's see how many things have that keyword.
Yes, that would be great.
Because if it's everything, and then you could just ignore Arcanaut Company, that could be something too.
Yes.
Alright, artifacts. Let's see. Astaroth armor. The bear has a 5-up ward. That's probably fine.
Yep.
Celestium Burst Grenade. Once
Reliable.
per battle, at the start of your shooting phase, you can pick an enemy within 12 inches. Not 2-up ward rolls cannot be made for models in that unit.
Dude, is that just a load of no text, or am I wrong?
Ignoring wards once per game on a 2-up.
Yeah.
I think, for the most part, it's no text.
Is there enough? Is there enough ward to make that worth taking? And with the risk of it doing nothing, and only once per game? And you have to be within
12.
12 of it with your general?
I think you're right. Yeah.
There's so much text there that there's so many restrictions on that. In my mind, that it's I don't know. It doesn't feel great.
And I think one way to beat ward saves is a lot more damage.
Right.
But I don't know. This might be cool against Nurgle. And 'cause I think ignoring a 6-up ward, who fucking cares?
Okay, so yeah, that's my thought, right? It has to. Okay, so it has to be against something with at least a 5-up ward.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's not going to feel great against a 6. You know, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how many things in how many armies have a 5-up that is yep, I want to turn that off for sure.
So Nurgle right now.
Yep.
This is just
so that army, yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
As far as real armies, I feel
real armies.
Yeah. I mean, Nurgle's a real one, but I was thinking in my head, when they change the reroll saves in OBR, I think they're gonna change it to 5-up ward, and Night Hunt has 5-up ward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's if that's right, that's 3 very powerful armies that really rely on it. But yeah. I can't think of I guess Bone Splitters have ward army wide, and they can make it 4-up ward once per game, and then you can react to it. But that's
okay.
Man, you're right though. It
just doesn't, and you have to, and to react to it, you have to be there with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This feels like the most. Yeah. This feels like the most tame ward turnover I've ever seen.
And I guess Archeon is a 5-up ward, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in that all-in strat of killing the big thing, and their big god monster probably has a decent ward. So this is the last bit of the puzzles for that, maybe?
Could be.
Yeah. I'm not super impressed with it, but I feel again, the meta could shape in a very specific way, where it's oh, you need to be able to answer this or you lose, and this is your only way to answer that. and therefore it's taken.
You know what? You gave it to me with the other thought I had, so I'll give this one to you.
Sure. Okay.
Or it's actually insane. Maybe there's something it counters that's so good that it's like, yeah, obviously I'm taking this. I just can't think of what that would be.
Yeah, I just don't see a world where, like, you need one specific unit dead, and getting rid of their ward is the way to do it. Because I'm just trying to think of, like, the big problem units right now. There's, like, Chaos Chosen, and they have a 5-up ward to mortal wounds. Or, like, the 4 Vanguard, they have a 4-up ward to mortal wounds.
Right.
And I don't think you have a ton of mortal wounds in this army, so I don't think you care. Unless you're in that one build.
Yep.
And so that, maybe.
But then that's against one army.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe we can come up with like 4 or 5 armies that it's good against, but like
That's 4 or 5 out of 26, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's
All right, we spent a lot of time here. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move
All right,
on.
Blazebeard and Sons Drac Hobbler Mega Bolas. So basically, starting your shooting phase, you can pick a monster within 12 and roll a dice. On a 2-up, that unit is grappled until the end of your opponent's next turn. While an enemy unit is grappled, roll 1 fewer dice when making a charge roll for that unit to a minimum of 1 dice. Again, if monster meta comes back ever, this is awesome. It's not once per game, it's the start of your shooting phase, you just get it.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yunk. Eat it.
1 fewer dice while making a charge roll. That basically just like turns charges off.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty crazy actually.
Yeah, and like I like that it's situational, but it's not once per game too.
Well, hang on. Starting. So it makes it if you move within 3, it makes it a 50% charge?
Yes.
Okay. Which is probably what they're going to be doing, because you have to be within 12 of them, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you put it on like a frigate, and then like they really wanted to deal with the Ironclad.
Yeah, no, that's true. And
Yeah.
now they just kind of have to try to charge the frigate instead.
Yep.
Yep, no, that's very true.
Or what if the monster's not super fast? It probably is, actually.
Oh, no, but I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Could be useless.
It just sounds fun. Like, I don't know if it's great, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Turning off the words doesn't have the fun factor for me,
Yeah.
I guess.
Let's see. Spell in a Bottle. This one came back. It's pretty
Ooh.
different.
Okay, alright.
So basically, what it used to do is you can bring any endless spell in your army, you can throw the spell in the bottle down, and it casts it. It cannot bring faction-specific ones anymore. It can only bring core ones.
Okay.
However, you do not have to
boy.
pay points anymore.
Oh, did you have to pay points before?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, Ooh, that's really good.
I think that's absolutely the correct choice. Because, like, paying full value for the endless spell when you can't control it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. Like, spending your command trait to get it once, or your artifact to get it once. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it being free, that's fine. Gloomspite gets theirs free. You can get yours free. It's fun.
Yeah. And that's like, you can put almost like a point value on how good that one is, too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. It's probably not the full cost, because you can't recast it, right?
Can't recast it, you can't control it.
Oh, you can't control it either. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. Obviously, Purple Sun is really good in this army. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You can come in, you can throw it down, you can run away. Any other endless spells that are worth taking? Like this portal, definitely not. Gnashing Jaws might be fun. But, like, I don't know. I think this is just the Purple Sun every time, right?
Probably is. Yeah.
Which, is that even a problem?
You just launch that thing at them and go, here you go. Now I'm going to shoot you.
Maybe the Soul Scream Bridge?
Oh, that's interesting. So you can kind of, like, just set it up and just be like, alright.
Yeah, and move a bunch of places and, like,
Yeah.
fly high and then do Soul Scream? Yeah. Maybe.
But I mean, yeah. But you actually bring up a good point because like you do have fly high.
yeah.
So like, do you need it? Maybe not. I don't know.
I think this is just a free purple sun,
I think it is.
which is fine.
Yep.
But I think it's also
an.
an auto take in this army,
That's pretty good.
right?
Yeah, you'd have to talk me out of it.
Yeah, like the other ones are cool, but I don't think they're going to be better than this.
Yeah.
But I like it
I
for
think
this army. They deserve it. It's really cool. It's flavorful. It's pretty army defining.
Kind of is.
Yeah. And that's like 90 points back. That's like an Arcanaut company.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. This one I hate. Phosphorite Bomblets. Engine Master only. Once per battle in your shooting phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer and roll a dice. On a 2-up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound, and you can roll another dice. Keep rolling in this way until the target is destroyed or you roll a 1.
That does something very different than what I thought it was going to do. I thought you were going to say D6 mortal wounds. Or D3 mortal wounds, and then you were going to be done.
No.
Huh.
So, Ray and I did math for this. And there's like a... Basically, what it comes down to, 1 in 100 games, you're going to do more than 25 damage. 50% of the games, you're going to do more than 4 damage. And on average, you're going to do 5 damage with this.
5 damage is very good.
Yeah, the range is restrictive, and it's in the shooting phase, so, like, you got a lot of movement to fix that. I just hate that most of the time this is, like, okay, and then, like, 1 out of 100 games, it's just gonna ruin.
Ruin a game?
Yeah. Because, like, can you imagine if, like,
I
you
agree.
point this at, like, a 20 wound thing, and it just goes off? Like,
Yeah,
how unfun is that?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a Timmy, and a Timmy would love this, but I hate this.
Yeah, it's just like, oh look, my game's ruined.
Yeah, it's like if I lose to this...
What it sounds like to me is like the thing that it's like, oh, I can probably go kill that support hero, right?
Yeah.
The average is 5. Like on average, I'm going to kill that support hero.
Already has a damage or 2 on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that's fine. It's
yeah, but the ability to just like, oops, I killed your big thing because
Yeah.
I never rolled a 1.
You're like, oh, I have like a huge. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a giant risk, and then like it works out. Like that's so silly.
Yep.
No, I hate this. Get it out of here. Yucky.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and then the last one, Voidstone Orb. Navigator only. Once per battle, when the Battletome attempts to unbind a spell, you can say the Voidstone Orb will be used. If you do so, that spell is automatically unbound.
Oh, hey! I like that one.
Yeah, in an army that, like, you don't get a lot of spell mastery, like, I think that's good. That's a nice tool to have.
Yeah. That's like the Stormcast one gets it by default, or at least used to. I can't remember. It still does.
She does, yeah.
I think it does. Yeah.
But the advantage of this one is, like, that unit's 120 points for just that rule, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, the Aether Navigator does other cool shit.
I mean, I guess what you could say is it's using up your whole artifact, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it feels similar to me.
What I didn't mention either yet is a lot of the heroes are very cheap in this army. So you can fill out a command entourage for less than 300 points.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so like, and these are some good artifacts.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
It's like, I think I would take that and spell in the bottle, like every army. Done.
And then run Byrak Nar and get a bunch of extra command points, and
yeah,
you're looking golden.
Yeah, I like that build a lot, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
This book's actually really cool, isn't it?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. It's not my favorite, but I like how it's written. I think it's a really well-designed, sleek book, outside of competitive power or not.
Yeah.
And that can always change with points, in my opinion, but...
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's fundamentally broken, but...
Yeah, you're probably
I don't
right.
think
Yeah. Alright, overall, though, like, that's a pretty good selection of artifacts. There's, like, one that seems, like, very situational. and the rest seem like pretty generically playable.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple that seem pretty fucking good to me.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Let's see. Then you have the Great Engine Works. A lot of these are the same on each list, but it's basically we have an Ironclad list, a Frigate list, and the Gun Hauler list.
Okay, so they're like the same, but like it's restricted for what can take it or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
So, last words. Basically, yeah, at the end of the enemy charge phase, you can pick one enemy unit that finished a charge that's within 3 inches of this, and then you can shoot at it with your big cannon. So, like, multiple unleash hells. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Now you just get one of these, right? Like this is just a.
Yep,
an
you
extra
just get one of
enhancement
them. There's a sub-faction that lets you get another, and a command trait that lets you get another. And Command Entourage and Warlord can let you get another.
So you can get a lot of these if you really want.
If you really wanted to, you can get a lot, but you're probably getting one or two, reasonably. Let's see. Old reliable hull plates. The first wound is negated each phase.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we see it with Manfred. We've seen it in OBR. Like that's actually a sneaky good rule.
Yep.
And this thing has like 20 wounds with a 3-up save. I like
So,
that.
like it prevents like like a spell that did some damage. It prevents like shoot damage.
Yep.
Keeps it alive a little bit in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Rinse, repeat, and then it like turn over turn. It like keeps getting value.
Yeah. This rules.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
I mean, of course, you could just like absolutely bull rush something down and just be like, nope, it's dead. I killed it this phase.
Yep.
All damage. Yeah. And then obviously it doesn't do much. But I think there's plenty of instances where it will be good.
Exactly. I agree. Let's see. I mean, like, honestly, like, anything that can, like, just do 20 damage to a 3-up save is killing, like, fucking anything anyway. Like, that's just how good the hammers are in this game.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, to me, that's, like, hardly a point.
Right.
It's the dies to Doomblade argument, but it's still good to mention.
Yes.
It's not going to save you from Doomblade.
I guess I wasn't saying it's bad because Doomblade exists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just that, temper expectations a little bit, like it could just die.
Yeah.
But it could sneakily like really save it. And especially if you like move it around smartly and what have you.
I guess like yeah. And I guess I wasn't trying to say that you were saying it was bad because of that, but I think
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think what it really does is like it gives you a layer of protection against combined arms. Yep. So, like, I have magic, I have shooting, and I have melee, and I want all of these things to bring down a big target.
Yep, and you get extra protection when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And it protects you from, like, AoE chip damage and stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of uses for it that I think are good. But it's not going to save you from a hammer.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. What's the next one? Breath of Morgrim. In your shooting phase, you can pick one enemy unit and roll 1 dice for each model in that unit within 9 inches. So for each 5-up, that unit suffers a mortal wound. So you put a flamethrower on this boat, which is sweet.
Yep.
But I don't super love horde clears.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, so like it's probably fine.
We've said all these flamethrower abilities are probably fine, right? Have we ever actually seen one at work and like do anything?
Thankful.
Have you ever seen one?
Thankful. But
yeah, Thankful seems, but you get that 4 times, right?
Yeah.
That one feels like way different, right? Like any of the ones where we're like I think when we saw that it was like, oh, that seems obviously great.
Yeah.
I mean, like any of these ones that were like, well, maybe it's probably okay. Have we ever seen one in use? Like, have you literally ever seen one?
I've seen them, but it's like on units that just happen to have them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, the mammoth from Ogres has one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because the unit is good, it's just because that's your cheapest access to a priest, and some people take it for that.
Okay.
And then it does okay. There's a Fire Slayer spell, or a prayer, I guess. That's one of those at range.
I see it incidentally, I think is the fair way to put it.
Okay.
It's
And
not
you've
the
never-
main appeal, and it's not why you took the unit, but it's
Mhm.
incidentally there, and it's fine.
Yeah, but you're not like, oh, that was great.
Yeah, I
Or,
see it
oh,
in Daughters
my
of
bad.
Cain a lot, right?
Okay.
And it's just because that the Gorgon is actually a pretty good hero. It just
Oh, okay,
happens
and it
to
just
have
happens to have them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So in those instances, you do see it, and if you have like
Mhm.
a lot of these, like maybe, but the difference is that you're picking this actively, right?
Right, yeah. I guess that was my point. Like,
Yeah,
half my point. It's like, I don't think you pick it.
I don't think so either.
Like, I don't actually see a world where you ever pick it.
Yeah, your
Ah.
only friend plays 2 units of 60 zombie. That's when you
Yeah.
bring it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And even then, like, oh well, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Zombar Corp, Deal Breaker Battle Ram. So you roll equal to its charge, and for each 4-up, that enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. So it's got the Ogre impact charge. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well. But do you want to charge it? I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Prudency shoots. So I think we forgot to mention this, but if you have units embarked on a unit that gets blown up, you roll a dice for each model in it, and then each one that model is slain.
Yeah.
This prevents that. You just get your full unit.
Is that planning for failure?
Yes.
Or is that...
Which is even dumber than regular planning, right?
I mean, contingency plans are good, I guess. But
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth any... I know. I don't think you take it.
Yeah, I'm taking the first wounds negated every phase first, and then I'm taking last word, and then I'm taking 2-inch move.
Yeah, I don't think I'm taking that one.
Yeah, that's what my point is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see. This one, thanks for the picture here. Can we read any of them? Okay. So, Prudency Shoots and the Magnificent Omniscope are the same as the previous one, the +2 move and then the don't die when you get blown up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Khazar's Farewell Scuttling Sail. This unit is destroyed before it is removed from play, and before any units embarked in it disembark. Roll a dice for each unit within 3 inches of this unit, and on a 2-up, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So on your frigate, when it dies, it blows up, and then your guys land. Cute.
Yeah. It's like Suicide Frigate?
Yeah, is that worth it?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no.
I'm not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think
I'm
so.
not in love with it. Yeah.
You'd have to test that a lot.
Yeah.
Find. Oh yeah, actually, XYZ. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my first. It's not my go-to.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
And then Malefic Sky Mines. Once per battle at the start of your combat phase, you can pick one enemy unit that can fly and that is within 6 inches of this, and roll a dice. On a 2 to 3, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 4-up, they suffer D6. How much of a hard pass is that for you, Bill?
Yeah. No thanks.
Yep. So I'm not living on any of these except for maybe the 2-inch move. If you want your frigate to be fast.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the gun hauler. When this thing makes a normal move or retreats, you can add D3 to the move. If you wish, you can add 2D3. But if you roll double, this thing suffers 1 mortal wound. Plus 2D3 is pretty good. I'm hitting that button every time.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yep. And 1 mortal wound, who cares?
So now, like, if you roll a 3 and a 4, that counts as doubles, right?
Yeah. So it's much more likely, but it's only 1 mortal wound.
Yeah, you gotta roll it. I mean, it's a third of the time.
Yeah. And, like, I think they're going to kill this thing with dedicated damage anyway, no matter how many wounds it has on it, so.
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
Uh-huh.
You just hit that button. You go, fun. You go for a drive.
I mean, is 2D3 even... What are you getting out of that? 4 extra inches of movement?
Yeah.
Maybe it's enough to be worth it, but, like where... Now, you said it's on a retreat, right?
Yeah.
So, can you think of an instance where like this is gonna make the difference? Like you have to be in combat, and then you're like
It's a normal
you're
move or retreat.
retreating away.
So like you can normal move closer too.
Oh, normal move or retreat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, my bad. It's
Yeah.
okay. I missed the normal move part. That makes a big difference. Okay.
It makes a huge
Okay,
difference.
yeah.
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 You know, it's a way to get extra movement without running, so you don't ruin the guy's. You know, actually, when we're like, oh, that might matter. Actually, it matters a lot. So if you run the boats, the guys in the boats can't shoot because they count as running.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we missed the mark on that one. Oops. So, actually, yeah, this is a way to get a lot more movement without running. So if you have like a good unit of shooting in here, like you can position that where you want. You have a lot of range on that gun now. I like this one a lot. I'm not sure how much I like gun haulers.
Yeah. That's the question.
Yeah.
Isn't the gun hauler? Is that the small one?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what the other ones are. So once per battle, after this unit finishes a
Oh,
charge.
I don't think you can embark anything on one of those.
Oh no.
I don't think so.
I thought
think
you
they're
had
too small
like
for that.
5 models on it.
Yeah, maybe 5, but
That's a Thunderer.
so maybe a Thunderous unit can.
Yeah.
But I'm actually not even sure that that's true.
Oh,
I
you
don't know.
don't get
I'm
it. You know
actually
why? Because the last one is it becomes a transport with 6 units.
There you go. So
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Okay, so never mind. I guess if you want a really fast gun hauler, there's probably a use for that, but yeah, I guess, yeah. You're taking the ironclad one, normally.
Yeah,
First.
I think so.
Yeah. Do we even care about the last one? Oh
You
yeah,
become a
so on the
transport.
charge once per game, on a 2-up, that thing takes that many mortal wounds. Okay, no. Okay, so like maybe the 2d3 move is relevant if you want a really fast one. But I think you're living in the ironclad ones. And you don't really want a ton of these.
Yeah.
So that sub-faction where you get a bunch of these, I don't like.
Yeah, suddenly I don't like it as much because
Yeah.
there's not much worth taking.
These don't seem great.
Yeah.
These seem like little add-ons. And you'll be happy with your one free one. Or like maybe you want the second if you have 2 ironclads.
Yeah, and there's plenty of ways to get it.
Yeah.
You do.
Alright. Okay. And we can move on here.
Yeah.
I think we're finally into the core battalions. None of these have magnificent. None of these have unified. I don't really care. What do you think?
Let's move on then.
Yeah. But I like that they exist, but none of these have really seemed to be that good except for the Gargant ones.
I kind of like when they have more unique abilities when they're the faction specific ones.
Yeah.
Like actually like play with the factions and not just have like the same symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this is the part of the show where we usually just skip, and I'm not opposed to skipping it again.
Yep.
We'll leave it here for a second in case people want to like read them. You can pause your video. You can take a picture.
Yep.
You got your
Whatever you
picture,
gotta do.
everyone?
Great.
Yep. These are terrible for the game. Get rid of them. Let's go on.
We don't like
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. We got Brock Gunnarsson and the Admiral. We're going to go over the Admiral first because Brock is very similar. And
Sounds good.
so basically he's got like piddly attacks, and if he's your general, you could pick one of your ironclads to be the what is it, the flagship? Yeah. Once per turn, that unit can issue command to the flagship without a command point being spent. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Yep. And then they have a special thing, Command the Skies. So it's a command ability that lets a sky vessel more than 3 inches from enemies be able to run and shoot and charge.
Okay.
So it's not the sky vessel and the things inside, though.
Yeah. But then again, like, there's not necessarily somebody inside.
Yep. Oh, and it also rerolls the run, too. So that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I like that roll.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it has another one, bring every gun to bear. You can use this command ability at the start of your shooting phase. The unit that receives this must be a sky vessel and more than 3 inches from enemy units that remain stationary and did not receive the fly high. And then you can add 1 to the attack characteristic if that unit's missile weapons until the end of the phase.
Does the Ironclad still have like a fucking million weapons?
It has 4 different weapons, yep.
Hell yeah.
And one of them's like a big cannon, and having 2 shots with that's kind of cool.
Yep.
So like if you didn't have to move, there's a reward.
Yep.
And like that you get to issue it for free. That's really cool.
If I remember, like in the old book, the range was not short on those guns either.
It was not, yeah.
Yeah. So if you you can like set a line or something and then just like absolutely blow someone away with that. I like it.
And then once per game, you can give a unit that is not a sky vessel an additional run on their shooting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Like so you give the Thunderers in the Ironclad an extra rend on the shooting. You don't move, and then you blow someone away.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and Electman, Ironclad, and the frigate can be the flagship. I don't know the book super well. I imagine you want it to be the Ironclad every time, but maybe in like lower points games, it'll be cool to have the frigate that you don't have the points for the Ironclad.
How many points is the Ironclad?
500, and the frigate's
500.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, it better be good.
Mm-hmm. Overall, and then this guy is 125, I think. Yeah, 125.
Oh,
That's a really good package for 125, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like it does a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you
that
don't
was
move,
the Admiral
more damage, a lot more movement. Like that optionality is awesome.
Yep.
And then like the once per game, give your big unit like additional rend. That's cool.
Yep.
These things can be rend 3 with the purple sun. That's great, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That seems like I think we found something that you can do, right? Like that's ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Alright, and then I come back to Brock now. So, he does like a little bit of mortal wounds in an area within combat with him. That's fine. If this unit made a charge move in the same turn, add 1 to the attack characteristic of Barak Nar. Skyfarer units wholly within 12 of this. That's a powerful ability. Run 4 with Chemist, that's cool. And then command the fleet. So it's the same thing with the run and charge and the run and shoot and charge command ability with the Admiral, but you get to issue it to 3 sky vessels.
Oh wow.
And he's 220. He doesn't seem like the auto take that Skagrad is, not even remotely. But he seems decent.
Yeah.
Like
he
that's
doesn't
a lot
have
of
the
movement.
bring every gun to bear though.
What's up?
He doesn't have the bring every gun to bear though.
He does not, no.
Which is No, but he's pretty good though, I think.
Yeah.
He has good melee, right? If I remember right.
4 attacks, 3s, 2s, -2, D3.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. He's got the mustache gun, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 1 attack, 3s, 2s, -2, D3 plus 3.
D3 plus 3. Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually fucking sweet.
And then
oh
6
no,
shots,
no,
3
that's
threes.
that's the cannon. That's the cannon.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm pretty sure in the Magnate's charter is the mustache ones.
Oh, that makes sense. Or the 6 of them now.
Oh yeah, that's
Three,
actually pretty spicy.
-1, 2 damage, yeah.
That's ooh, that's a spicy.
And honestly, I'm not sure about
shooting
you,
profile.
but I'm adding 1 rend to everything in my head because of the purple sun. On the turn you super need it.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what you should do.
Yeah, that's how I'm reading them anyway.
Yeah.
Brock and 9 Sky Wardens charging and fighting. Yeah. And then loading from the boat to give them... Yep. I think there's a list with him that's actually decent.
Yep.
Like, I think he just sat on the shelf before. I think you need a specific list in mind with him. Because it's like pulling you into melee units, and it's pulling you into 3 boats.
Yeah, and you have to take Barragnar with him.
Yeah.
You can't get like the... Well, I mean, you can take the other one, but it's not like... You're not getting benefits there.
Yeah, so we have a very specific list with him, but... You know what? That's a fun list.
Yeah.
And it might be pretty good.
I always like that model a lot, too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Got mustache guns, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
How do you not love that?
I do love that.
Yep. Skywardens can put out 28 attacks base, going to 37 if Brock charges. Yep. That's great.
Quite a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's power there, obviously. And then we got Trekkie Flint. Remember him? He's the Black Library novel model.
Oh, no, I don't remember him. But
Oh,
okay.
okay. Like, he's standing on top of a tentacle. But yeah, so you get to pick a frigate in your army that becomes the Aisling, which is a special boat. And you add 1 damage to its melee weapons, interestingly enough. He's 135 points, by the way.
That's what he does.
So that's part of it.
Okay.
And like his melee is like high damage but low volume. You can reroll run and charge rolls for the Aisling with this unit is embarked. And then each time this unit fights after all its attacks been resolved, you can pick 1 enemy monster within 3 inches and roll a dice. On a 2-up, it suffers 3 mortal wounds. None of that D3 crap, just flat 3.
It's flat, great. All right,
Good.
I mean, that's a lot.
And then at the start of the combat phase, he can pick a hero within 3 inches. Or within 1 inch of him. And on a 3-up, you steal his artifact of power.
What the fuck?
For 135.
Alright.
Yep. He reads as okay and fun to me, but not great.
Yeah, like, I bet you charging boats is not what you're doing in this army.
Probably.
Unless they accidentally made that good, and by adding him into it, it's like that's all you're gonna see, which would be hilarious. But I doubt it.
I don't see that
what
happening.
What Skyport is he? Mornar.
Mornar, yeah.
Is that the charging?
That's actually hilarious. I gotta scroll up and see. I can never remember which
No, I
sub-faction
can't
named
remember
what,
the names
right?
either. No, not at all. I remember that, like, I remember the abilities, but I can never.
Oh, Barak Zahn is the charging one.
What the heck one is this? Is this the shadow one?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
So you're in something like
weird.
being close range anyway.
so I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Interesting.
I mean, let's see what the melee looks like on these sky vessels, because it's
Yeah.
probably shit. But we'll find out.
You really want to charge a frigate? Okay, I guess we'll get there.
Yeah,
Soonish.
okay.
Yeah. And then we got Bjorn Thunderdark and his Profiteers. And he's got a once per battle, a horde clear, and then he's got a 4-up ward near his friends. And they are 160. So they're pretty aggressively costed for like a mediocre profile. They might be fine, just because they're so cheap. But they don't really bring that much exciting to the table, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's fine to move on here.
Yep.
I don't like Underworld warbands because they usually have like a bunch of different weapon profiles and
Oh
it's
yeah,
hard to
it's
value
just
them. Yeah, and you never see them.
right.
Anyway, oh well. Fun painting project, I bet, though.
Oh,
Alright. This guy's cool. The Code Right. He's cheap as chips, if I remember. Yeah, 90 points. And,
Is this the new one?
yep, this is the new guy.
Is that
And he's got, like,
sound familiar?
the book all over his backs. And, like, people make fun of him. He's, like, the most average Warhammer player. Because it's him with all of his FAQs for his Battletome on his back. Yeah.
I love it.
That's the meme, and I don't disagree. So, what's his special rule? So, at the start of the hero phase, if this is within 6 inches of another friendly Overlords hero, you roll 2 dice. Each 4-up is a command point. And he's got a special heroic action tied to him. So, basically, how it works is you roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. 2 to 3, you pick a new footnote to apply to your army until the end of your battle. And on a 4-up, you can pick a new footnote and a new amendment. So,
Wow.
2 to 3.
Okay.
So basically 2 up, you change your once per game ability. So you burn the once per game ability, you flip to the next one. That seems
That's
pretty good,
cool.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then I remember there's like a footnote that we thought was like situational. So you can just tilt into that when the situation arises.
Yep. Yeah,
This guy
the
seems
shooting one.
awesome, right?
Yeah, that does seem awesome.
Yeah, like I would always run this.
Oh, excuse me.
Andrew in the chat, he's like, "Oh yeah, I typed it out as you said that. The average Warhammer player. Yep, that's exactly what this guy is.
Yep.
He's sweet. I really like him, and he's really cheap too. Like 90 points for that to just get like a bunch of different abilities. Like that seems cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got the Engine Master and the Aether Chemist. So there's an Engine Master on foot, and then the one with a hammer, and then there's one with a balloon. This is the on foot one. So basically, his special rule is at the start of your hero phase, you can pick. Yeah, both of them have. You can heal Sky Vessel 3 wounds, which is pretty important. 3 is pretty big. And then his special thing is you get to roll a dice, and on a 1, you do D3 mortal wounds to your Sky Vessel, and on a 2-up, they fight at their top bracket.
Okay.
And how much is he? He's 90 points. Like I said at the top, like the heroes are
These
cheap.
guys are cheap. Their
Yeah.
movement is abysmal, but I mean that's why you put them in the boats, right?
Yep, you put them in the boat. It doesn't matter how fast you move when you have a boat.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, can you deploy in boats, or do you actually have to like embark on the boat?
We should have
Start
probably
the
went
game?
over that in the allegiance abilities, but you can
Yeah.
deploy in boats, but how it works is it's one drop to put the boat down, and then it's another drop to say this unit is in the boat.
Oh, I mean that's fine. I was just curious if you could do it.
Yeah.
At all.
You can.
All right.
And I kind of like that, so you can't like cheat drops that way either.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, in a fluff sense, it's kind of silly, but who cares?
Yeah. No, you're boarding up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I just like the idea that the boat's on the battlefield, and then it's like, oh, by the
Oh
way,
yeah,
I
it's
forgot.
like you flew in. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's a fair point.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. And I agree, shooting at top bracket's probably important. I think you're going to run into a problem with this army of, you have a lot of great heroes at 90 points, but you don't want to run like 500 points of heroes, so you have to really select what buffs you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's good, even.
Yeah.
Because I think that leads to, like, different build optionalities. Like, oh, I really need this buff for this specific strategy. But yeah, like I like all these heroes so far, man.
They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then we have the Aether Chemist. What does he do? Start of your shooting phase. If this unit is not embarked, you can pick one Skyfarer unit that is not embarked and wholly within 12 inches of this unit, and improve the Ren characteristic of that unit's missile weapon by 1 until the end of the phase. So that's a pretty big damage multiplier.
Yeah, but how do you
Additional
get
Ren.
him there? He's got forage.
Yeah, I guess like the same way you get the
You say at
Skyfarer
the
unit, right?
beginning of the hero phase that this happens?
Starting
Oh, no,
the
at the
shooting
start of the-
phase.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine then. You just gotta get out.
Yep.
For some reason I thought you said start of the hero phase, in which case it's like,
I
man,
might
that's
have
gonna take so
accidentally.
long to set up.
Yeah.
But
How many points are you, Mr. Chemist? You're 80 points? Okay. We didn't even finish the War Scroll. What's the rest of it? Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy models while they're within 3 inches of a friendly unit. Okay. So if you're in combat with him, you have -1 to hit. That's an excellent hero for 80 points.
yeah, no joke.
I kind
I'm
of
hearing
like that.
myself a little doubled, by the way.
What's up?
I'm hearing myself coming
Oh,
back through. I don't know if it's me or what.
I'll turn your mic down a little bit.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
Hopefully.
Okay,
I don't hear myself anymore.
perfect.
Sorry.
We're good. No, that's important to
Just didn't
notice.
want to have that go. Yeah.
With all of our sound issues today.
Oh, I know, right? Oh well.
That's what happens when we have a rush start, man, every time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well. Aether Chemist, great hero. Do you never leave home without one, I think, right?
He's pretty good.
Like additional rend?
Yeah, like you just pop out and be like, all right, boat, shoot better.
Yeah.
It is. Oh no, wait, is it
It's a Skyfarer.
Skyfarer? Oh, never mind. Okay.
So fellow
Now,
shoot
do they
better.
also have to be non-embarked?
Yes.
It is not. Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, you all get out, and then the thunderers go bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
Really good. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and so maybe that might be a reason not to take them, because you want to really stay in the boat.
Yeah, maybe.
But you need to
'cause
hold
you
objectives
you'll
somehow,
have to get out.
and you need to get out to do that,
Yeah. So it's like a little risk reward going on.
which is fine and good
Yeah,
even.
no,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Totally.
All right.
'Cause otherwise, it seems really good. So, like, toning it back a little bit with some restrictions is probably good.
Yeah, and I think the restrictions they put are very fair.
Yep.
Let's see. Engine Master with Balloon and the Aether Navigator. Okay, so the guy with the dirigible suit. So he heals the 3 wounds.
Is it done?
And then add 1 to failed repair rolls made with engine riggers units while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. I don't know how good that is. We gotta get to engine riggers first.
Yep.
But this guy is 170 points. But he's got a lot more wounds, and he moves really fast, so that might be something worth it too.
Yeah, he seems better. Yeah, like, the fact that he moves quick is nice.
Yeah.
What are his things?
Um,
Oh, does he have mustache guns too? Oh wait, hang on.
No,
Are we
he
on
does
the?
not.
Am I on the wrong one?
the top one?
Yeah, the top one. Okay.
He's got a very weak version of Brock's profile, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like half damage, even less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I agree that the Chemist and the Navigator are great. And like what Alec-Man's saying is you can get Thunderous to Ren 4 pretty easily with the Purple Sun Admiral and Chemist together. That seems
That's
really
pretty
good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. And then the Navigator, what does he do? So you can attempt to unbind or dispel one endless spell. Oh, no, you get to attempt to dispel and unbind. That's kind of cool. How much
Yeah.
points is he? He's 85. Okay. And then this is his really cool rule he has, to read the winds. So you roll 6 dice and then choose an effect. And then you have Aether Storm. For each one, pick 1 different enemy unit within 30 inches of this. And that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. And in addition, if they suffer mortal wounds that aren't negated, you have their move characteristic until your next hero phase. Or you pick, for each roll of a 6, pick 1 different Sky Vessel unit within 30 inches of this invisible. And they can make a D3 plus 3 movement.
Dude, that was a lot of text.
It's really weird. Okay, so basically, how it works, you roll 6 dice.
Okay.
And then you pick one of the 2 abilities. And one of them triggers on 1s, and one of them triggers on 6s.
So you roll the dice and then pick?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. And then so it's like, oh, I got a lot of 1s, I'm going to do a lot of damage. Or I got a lot of 6s, I'm going to move a lot.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
And then there's a command trait that let you re-roll the 6 dice here.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And 85 point. This guy's sweet, man. Like, that's a cool
That is
rule.
sweet. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
In like 30-inch range on a support or D3 mortal wounds and a debuff. Like, come on.
Yep.
You get like 1/6 and you're like, oh, that thing, like, that moves half. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And if you roll like 3 1s or like 3 6s, like, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is really cool.
Maybe it's like fine to take 6 heroes because they're all like less than 100 points.
Yeah, they're all cheap, but also kind of awesome. And then you get, like, on average, 3 extra command points with Barrack Knock.
Yeah.
Because you did that.
There might be something to that.
I don't know, maybe. They're all very cheap.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's I don't know for me.
I'm guessing, like, 3 or 4 is the correct number. But, like, maybe
I'm
more.
guessing that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're into units. Arcanaut Company.
Okay, here we go.
How do we parse
Meat and
this?
potatoes.
Like, what's their main gun? So, we'll just base the main gun. It's the Privateer pistol. So it's 9-inch range, 4 4s, no round, 1 damage, and then you can pick whatever special weapon you want. Cool.
Okay, how
There could
many
be one
special
that's-
weapons can you pick? Can you only pick, like...
One in
or
every
can you
10,
pick,
one in
like-
every 10, one in every... So you can pick 3 special weapons per 10.
And 1 in every 10. Okay, yeah. These used to be, so dumb, and I hated when they did this.
Mhm.
Where you could have up to 3 of any combination of them, but they only gave you 1 per kit. And so you, like, had to go out and, like get the same gun multiple times because there was one that was the clear and obvious winner. And I
Yucky.
hated that so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too.
I think I just didn't do that, and now that's great that I didn't.
Yep.
But
Stormfiends had that same kind of thing go through them.
yep.
So, okay, so it's a little smarter, but it's just like, it's cumbersome to try to parse how much damage they do. But you'll do the math, you'll pick the best damage from. That's all I have to say about that, right?
Yeah, to be well, I mean, I think you just take one of each of the special weapons is probably what it is. But
Yeah.
I think second edition already had it fixed, but I was just remembering the first edition just annoyance of that. Anyway,
You're probably right. Yeah, like very weak shooting. Has 3 damage of one of their weapons on a monster. And if it's not embarked, you get to add 1 to hit rolls for against units contesting an objective with all your 4s to hit. So to me, like, this reads as like you have 10 wounds at a 4-up save for 100 points. And if like you're lucky, you might do a damage or 2.
Yeah.
But like it's chaff, and like chaff's very good.
They're just uninspired.
Yeah.
Which is probably fine because they're chaff, but
I was kind of hoping these would go up and be 2 wounds, like the other dwarves.
I think I would
but
guess the Thunderers did,
I
or
think
maybe
they
they
did.
already were 2 wounds.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't have guessed these. These guys are actually small. These guys are on like 20 millimeter bases or whatever.
Mhm.
So these guys I think would be weird at 2 wounds. They're very small bases.
But it sounds like Electman in the chat plays this army. Am I missing something obvious, or are these just chaff? Just let me know. Let's move on though. So the Thunderers, the Grunstock Thunderers. We heard a lot of this in the book, actually, and a lot of ways to interact with them. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they're Gunstrocks. They can be a battle line in that command trait. And their base weapon is 2 shots, 3s, 4s, -1/1. The 4s to wound kind of hurts, but if you can get to Rend 4, that's probably reasonable. Thunderers have always been 2 wounds. Okay, they're still 2 wounds. That's good.
Oh, these guys
With a
have a
3-up
million
save.
different potential weapons too.
Yep. And some of them look good, some of them don't.
I mean,
I
you can take
think
one
they're
of
all worth
each,
taking,
and
though, is the way they're worded. How
Yeah.
many points are there? They're
the Aether Shot
135 for
Rifle's like
5.
the default one.
What's up?
They're 135 for 5, you said?
Yeah. So, and then the unit leader gets +2 shots with their gun. So that's 12 shots. Worst case scenario, let's say you didn't take any special weapons, and I'm sure the damage goes way up when you do. So 12 shots, 3s, 4s, -1/1. That's alright for 135 at an 18-inch range. And then, with all that Ren, that's probably decent for their points. A unit of 10 is probably great.
I would imagine that they're pretty good, right? Like they're kind of they feel like the bread and butter unit of this army.
Yeah, like
You know
the
what I mean?
hammer.
Yeah.
They really do. And like, what's their special rules?
An 18-inch range on like with the default weapon's pretty good, I think.
And if you can shoot from the boat, like that's a lot, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she can, yep.
Oh yeah.
So like, they do mortal wounds to things in combat with them. That's kind of fun. The mortar is equal to the amount of stuff in that unit.
So it's a horde clearer.
Yeah, to a maximum of 5, so not really.
Oh no, that's actually bad.
Yeah. Each time this unit shoots, after all of its attacks have been resolved, every model in this unit shoots and targeted the same enemy unit. Roll 2d6. Add to the roll the number of wounds caused by those attacks allocated. Okay, so 2d6 plus the wounds you did. And if it exceeds the enemy's bravery characteristic, it is suppressed until the start of your next hero phase. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit is suppressed. And a unit cannot be suppressed more than once. Okay. So, very weird. So if you do a bunch of damage and beat their bravery after doing that damage, you give them -1 to hit.
Okay.
Which I like that.
Yeah.
A little bit of a defensive tool.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I didn't quite clear it, but I debuffed them. So like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, actually. And I like that it's the 2d6 bravery and then like some way to mitigate it. or
Mhm.
manipulate that number. That seems like the happy place instead of just 2d6 bravery, and you're like, oh, this will never work.
Yeah,
But
this will
like
either never
2d6
work
plus
or it's always
4,
gonna work.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Or if you do like 10 damage, like you just they're -1 to hit, you did it.
Yep, you did it. Also,
Yeah.
how's that thing living?
Yeah, and then it has like some mortal wound combat or capabilities in combat. So I really like this unit at 135.
Yeah.
Honestly. Cool. What's their melee?
I mean,
like,
I'm glad
actually, for
because
that one
they're like,
faction?
I feel like that army, it's like kind of what the army is revolving around in a
This
lot of
unit, yeah.
respects. So, yeah.
You don't leave home without
Kinda have to
like
get
3 units of this, right? Or like 15 of them.
I feel like it, yeah. I feel like this is like the bread and butter. Like more so than the Arcanaut Company. The Arcanaut Company feels like chaff through and through.
Chaff is good, but Chaff's not
Chaff
exciting.
is, yeah, exactly, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess the boats, but like, what are you gonna like a whole bit of this army is shooting out of boats, right?
Yeah. And so
So,
maybe
like,
that command trait's good for you, Bill, so you don't have to ever run an Arcanaut and you can just run a bunch of these.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have so many other ways to because like Barragnard just does that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like if you're running them, which, well, they did seem pretty good, so
Mhm.
you probably don't need it.
What are
But, you know,
Skywardens up
who
to
knows?
these days?
I think they probably added that actually because of like the limited amount of options, and like it might have invalidated some people's lists, so they're like, nah, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
You can take it anyway if you really want to.
Right. Alright, Skywardens, how many points are you? You're 130 for 3 of them. Okay. That's a rough.
That's kind of expensive, yeah.
And
Are
see
they
what I
two
mean?
wounds?
Like, units of 5,
Yeah.
units of 3. Like, the 4-up rally, I don't super care about it in here.
Like 15 Thunders, maybe.
Yeah. Alright, so add 1 to the model's attacks. So they have 3 attacks, 3's -1, 2. So this is the unit if you want to have the +1 to hit and wound in the charge phase subfaction.
Yep.
Yeah, when an attack made with a drill launcher is a 6, it causes 3 mortal wounds. That's cool. Drill launcher's the special weapon, though, with 1 attack. That's less cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. It seems okay.
So while this unit is... If you have a grapple launcher, once per battle, you can say this unit will reel itself towards an objective. If you do so, pick a point on the battlefield within 15 inches of this unit and on a terrain feature, and then remove this unit, and then set it up again wholly within 3 inches of that point and more than 9 from enemies. So a 15-inch teleport after a 12-inch move, that's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah. And then if you have a big unit of this, the 3d6 charge might be cool.
I think these aren't even the best melee ones, by the way.
Are not even?
No, I think the next ones are.
Okay.
The Endron riggers. Because they're the ones that have like the saws. I remember them being much more melee focused.
I might
could
be
be wrong.
missing something. These seem to be only okay. Do Skywardens have the Skyfarer keyword? They do. Yep. I know I can't get the whole thing on the screen, but here it is. They don't have the gun draw keyword for that one command trait. And neither
I
do
think
the
that's
Endron
only.
riggers.
I think that's only the small boats.
Yep. Alright. And then these are the melee ones, the Endon riggers?
That's what I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So they're 120 for 3. I feel like they're the same kit, but different weapons.
They are the same. Oh, definitely same kit. Yep.
Yeah. So they have decent shooting, decent melee, less good melee because less attacks. But it's Ren 2 D3 instead of, what was it, Ren 1 2?
Yeah, maybe
Ren
they're
1,
not
2.
as good now. Yeah.
Well, let's see what else they do. So the drill launcher's the same, the skyhook's the same, grapple launcher's the same, and then emergency field repairs. Once per battle, at the end of the phase, more than 3 inches from enemy units, you say that'll emergency repairs. Pick a sky vessel, and then roll a dice for each model in this unit. Each of these rolls is called a field repair roll. Each 4 and 5 you heal 1, each 6 you heal 2. And then the Engine Master with the balloon adds 1 to this roll. Okay, so like you actually have a pretty decent amount of self-healing. for your frigates in this army, it seems.
Now, was it only frigates, or could it be any sky vessel?
Sky vessel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that's kind of cool, actually. So that
Yeah.
gives a little bit of more credence to the 1 damage ignored per phase, I think, too.
Yep.
Because then you
can
could
heal.
just like really chip the damage down and then heal them up, chip the damage down, heal them up. Okay, actually.
Yeah.
There's probably a very tanky build you can do.
Which is kind of cool, actually. Considering they're, I'd say mainly a shooting army.
Yep.
Even if there's some other stuff in here, maybe.
It's definitely.
I'm really curious about the frigates, honestly, now to see what they're.
Yeah. I think we said enough about this unit, honestly. Like, they have a cool heal. Their damage is pretty mediocre, but they're kind of cheap.
Well, so here's the interesting thing, right? Like, this guy and the last guy, those are your melee options. That's all you get. That's it.
Yeah.
So if they're not good enough, then the charging thing isn't good enough. Unless the frigate's good enough. I don't know.
Yeah, which I guess the frigate will come down to if you want that or not, but
yeah.
I don't know though, like nothing seems like that obscenely powerful to me. But the thing I'm noticing is that like a lot of stuff like in Nighthaunt or like OBR and stuff, like you have like obscenely powerhouse units that are pretty expensive. And like these just seem very cheap. And then do like
That's
a
true.
little bit of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this might be like a little bit more of a volume army than it was before. I don't know how the points laid before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and also, Luckman makes a good point that, those can all be battle line. So I realized that no one
that's
could see what
definitely
I was
true.
painting for a while there. And
Oh,
I was
okay.
painting my bloody trees.
Yuck. I like
There you
them.
go.
And I'm just doing some dry brushing on my Sylvaneth, my little tree spirits.
The lighting on this camera is not doing them justice. It looks like I did hard edges there, but they're really not. So
It looks cool. I like the fade. Like the fleshy tips and then just bleeding out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yucky tree.
Yucky trees. Yeah, this is my idea for my trees. Was to make them all gross and fleshy and stuff.
I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
Chaos Chaos Land. Yep. Alright, you ready to talk about the Ironclad?
Hell yeah, I'm ready to talk about.
Yeah.
I've been ready to talk about the Ironclad this whole time.
So the Aether Carbines, you always have that. And then I think you get to pick either the torpedoes, the Great Cannon, or the Great Skyhook, or the Volley Cannon.
I think you always have the torpedoes.
Yes, you always have the
Is that what you
torpedoes
said?
too.
Yeah, okay.
You're right.
Yeah, and the carbines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's... Okay, so that's like... Okay. So basically 12 shots at 2 damage, rend 1. That's okay. I'm just parsing a little bit for the damage.
Yep. Of course.
And then you can have the Great Sky Cannon, which has the shrapnel, which will be 6 more of those shots. Or 2 of the big cannon shots, which you can make 3 with the Admiral if it didn't move. That's cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Great Sky Hook.
It is 4 up, though, to hit, which sucks.
Yeah, but it's D3 plus 3
D3
damage.
plus 3? Yeah, and 2 ups to wound?
Yeah.
I don't know, still pretty cool.
Great Volley's probably cool at the Purple Sun. 46 shots. 3's -1/1. Bomb Rack, so you can fly over them and do some little mortal wounds. The Bomb Rack, so 10 dice, each 4 up is a mortal wound.
10 dice? That's pretty good.
Yep. And then it degrades.
Probably not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is it at the start of combat, or is it like when they fight?
After it finishes a normal move or run, you can pick one enemy unit that this passed across. So it's base move 10. And like you can run and reroll the run and shoot and everything. And then if you take the engine work, that gives it +2 movement, and then the code that gives it +2 movement. This can be like 14 plus D6 rerolled.
That's pretty crazy.
That's kind of cool.
That's a lot of movement.
Yeah. Okay, and then the Great Skyhook does less damage than the cannon, but it messes with monsters. And on a 4-up, it makes it so they can't do a monstrous rampage.
Okay.
Yep. And then once
I think
per battle...
I generically like the cannon better in that case.
I think I like the cannon more, overall.
Yeah. And doesn't it has like the 2 shooting modes too, right?
Yep.
Like you get to pick at time of shooting. Yeah, it just seems so much more flexible and probably more damage.
I would always do the big cannon, except for maybe the Great Volley Cannon has some synergy somewhere I'm not noticing. That like 46 shots, that could be fun, but I like the Great Cannon.
Yeah, I think I do too.
And then you have like, yeah, you can fly over a support hero and on average kill it with the bomb racks. That's kind of fun. Supremacy Mine is its enemy unit within 3 and a 2-up does that many mortal wounds. Yeah, I guess the cannon's always been the go-to. Counts as 5 mod for contesting, and you can carry 22 fellows on it.
22 fellows. 22 fellows is a lot of fellows.
Yeah.
Now, how do you count the fellows? Is it wounds? Or is it models?
22 models. So it's...
Holy shit.
Yeah, 2 Arcanite companies, 2 heroes, they're like 15 Thunderers.
Yeah, 15 like, Thunderers and like an Admiral and...
Yeah, that's great.
That's a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm. I like this boat. This is a great boat.
I love that boat.
Yeah,
that
20 wounds so cool. With a 3-up save.
The model's just sweet too. Like that thing
absolutely.
Is
Yeah. You probably still play like a coward with this boat, right? Just like
absolutely.
Up, shoot, let it come to you.
Yeah, you're putting this at the back and then just being like just absolutely unleashing hell is a really bad term in this game now, but that's what I would basically be doing.
Absolutely.
Not actually. But I mean actually, like this dude unleashing hell and something charging in is also pretty devastating.
Yeah, exactly. 15 Thunderers, your heroes, and Balloon Boys. Perfect.
Yep. There you go.
Alright, let's see what the frigate does, because if that needs to charge to be good, or if you want to charge it, yeah, it's really cool that it has different roles instead of like.
Yes, I would like the boat.
Yep. So this one's 300 points, 15 wounds, 3-up save, 12-inch move, so it's a little faster. It has the bomb rack that starts at 8 instead of 10. Let's see, a lot less shooting damage. It looks like.
That would check
D3 plus 2. That's fine. All right.
Those sporting weapons look like ass.
Yeah.
This better do something good.
All right, transport vessel. It carries 12. That's fine. Assault boat. After this unit finishes a charge move, you can pick one enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a number of dice equal to the ramming value, which is 8, and then it degrades. For each 4-up, that enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. Then you can pick friendly units embarked in this unit to disembark. Units that disembark in this way must be set up within 3 inches of enemy units, and count as having made a charge move. In addition, the following combat phase, the strike first effect applies to the units disembarked this way.
Okay.
So that works with your +1 to hit and wound subfaction.
Yeah.
And if you have like multiple, because like you have like units of 3, so you can just pop out everybody, I think, right? For any friendly units embarked in this unit to disembark. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you can and like any like hero that's got like a decent melee attack suddenly has strike first and stuff too. Which I think like the Admiral probably is okay. I don't really remember.
So what's this, like a clown car gangbang? You just drop them all out. All of them have strike first, and then the boat fights.
Yeah, kind of right. I mean, the boat fight is awful, but
well, you forgot that you're bringing Drecky Flynn, and he have 2 damage. It's terrible. Yeah,
it's bad. Yeah.
Bomb racks, heavy sky cannon.
So I get why you're charging this thing, but like its melee weapons are total junk.
I mean, like, let's see, 300 points for like a very sturdy thing, and to cheat movement on a ton of units, and like a strike first assault battery.
No, I'm not saying that. Like,
yeah.
Weren't we looking to see if the sky vessels are actually good at fighting themselves though?
We were, and they're not.
Yeah, and they're not. Yeah, that's all I was getting to.
Yep.
Not saying that this isn't worth taking. Maybe there's a build with it that could be really cool. I don't know, but like it fighting itself is not happening.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand that point. But if you have enough melee guys, like I don't think you need a hero on this. You can just put it on the Ironclad and they can issue. Right?
Oh, I think you want the hero here just because it does that. It's just more damage if you're actually like trying to fight with this thing, right? Like I'm sure that, like I think one of the heroes is like not bad at fighting, and like
Well, my thought
Is
was
worth
is
doing.
it holds 12, right? So that's
Mhm.
4 units of balloons, and if you put a hero in here, you drop one of the melee units entirely.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
And you're probably better off with the melee unit.
Wait, you can really embark the balloons? You never could before, I don't think.
Yeah, because remember they had the Skyfarer word.
Yeah.
I'll double
Ooh,
check that.
I didn't
Skyfarer.
Skyfarer. Realize the implications there at
Yeah,
first. Because I'm
Skyfarer.
pretty sure they could never embark before.
Yeah,
If I'm right.
I guess you're right, but like they can now, and that makes a huge difference.
And what Electman said, does Brock have the right keyword? Ha! 5 admirals all loaded into a frigate, and you can charge and kill basically anything with the D3.
Oh,
3d6
okay.
alpha strike. That's funny.
That's probably not a great list, but it's probably gonna catch somebody off guard, and that's gonna be
Oh
fun.
yeah, probably.
But
Yeah.
that's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the 4 ogre tyrant Kragnos list. And like a great
Yeah.
pilot can do well with it to an unexpected crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's always those silly kinds of lists, right?
And if that's too good, it's gonna get like tanked a little bit, right?
Oh yeah.
Alright, and the last guy's the little gun hauler that could.
Is this literally the last model in the book?
Yep.
I forgot how few models they have. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
After all those books with like a million models to go
Oh, like
through,
Gloom's
this one
Fight and
is,
shit,
like,
yeah.
it's so tame.
How you doing, Matt? No problem. I'm glad you can make it. But yeah, last model. How many points is this little guy? Did I forget to write that down? Yeah. Hey, Elecman, do you know how much points the gun hauler is? I don't want to scroll to the top. Ah, fine.
Hey, let's go over and then we'll surprise ourselves at the end.
Okay. And then we can guess how much we think it is. So 10 points,
Yeah,
straight
exactly.
up save.
Ooh, I like this game. Never mind, Electman. Don't tell him.
Yeah. Aether Carbine is 2 shots. And then you have the Sky Cannon or the Drill Cannon. You probably take the Sky Cannon. 2 shots, D3 plus 1. That's a lot less. Okay. Once per battle at the start of your movement phase, you can say this will move full ahead. If you do so, add 6 to the move characteristic. Friendly sky vessels, other than the gun hauler, have a ward of 6 up while they're within 3 inches of enemy gunshot gun haulers. Okay, that's cool. To this
A
unit,
ward of
finish
3 up? Is that what you just said?
6 inches while they're within 3. So it's a little ward battery. Not a 3-up ward.
Oh, okay.
6-up ward within 3 inches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this guy cannon definitely looks like the
Yeah,
like
and it's got the bomb rack that's at 4. Drill cannon.
Does that really say 24-inch range? 2 shots, 4 up, 2 up, -2, D3 +3? Or is that plus 1? Okay, +1. I'm like, holy shit, this thing is insane.
Yeah,
if
like,
that little
especially if
boat
it's
has
cheap.
that much damage. I mean, that's still actually pretty good, though. Like, I don't hate that.
Yeah, you do take the Sky Cannon every time, because the Drill Cannon,
Yeah, that thing looks
unmodified
like
hit of 5, it does D3. Or you just take the 2 shots.
Yeah, or you just take the 2 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which can
Absolutely
be 4
take the 2
shots. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Or
guess...
does it... Or does like the like add 1 to attacks make the drill better than the 3-shot, like 2-shot drill better than 3-shot?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
And you're probably doing that on your Ironclad anyway, because you're not, like, mass issuing that.
Mhm.
So even if it was, it's probably not better for the army overall.
Yeah.
I think this is 180. What do you think?
I'm gonna say something different than what Electman said.
Oh, did he already
I'm gonna
answer?
go. Yeah, it's okay. But he thought so maybe not. I'm gonna go with this is a really good 150.
A really good 150? I think it's 180.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's scroll up. And the Luckman thinks it's 170. Where are you? Gun hauler. 170. Okay.
Okay.
He was right.
Yeah, which is fine. I figured he
Yeah.
probably was, but I had to say something different just because.
For the dramatics, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
This is
that
pretty
at
good at
point cost,
170.
honestly. You think you think you're bringing a gun hauler with you?
I think there's a list with gun haulers. That seems
Yeah.
pretty cool. The 24-inch range on that with that cannon, you bring a few of those, you're gonna bring stuff down.
Yeah, so like
Right?
alright, my gut. Alright, how do you make Thunder's battle line?
Dargnar.
Baragnar? Okay. Which
Easy. Because you
is
kind of want that one anyway. That's the one with extra command points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Real easy.
They're all Barack, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Barack Obama, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
exactly that one. Yeah.
So I think where I'm living with this army, like at least my first thoughts are like I want that to be battle line. Because I want to run a unit of 15.
Yep.
And then I want to run like 1 or 2 Arcanaut companies, minimum size, just for like scoring and being in the way.
Yep.
And then I'm running an Ironclad, a frigate, 1 or 2 of these. My 4 favorite heroes, which depends. I think it's the Navigator, the Aether Chemist, the Admiral. And then like
You
maybe
bring Brock?
Huh?
Do you bring Brock?
I'm not bringing Brock, personally. I'm bringing the code right, actually. Those are my 4 heroes.
There you go.
And then I'm bringing another boat, and then whatever my points left over, I'm bringing some melee dudes. And then
There
I
you
gotta
go.
actually workshop that list to see if it's actually like reasonable.
Yeah.
But like that's my first thought. Is like I think Thunderers are really cool. And I think you want one big unit of them.
I do still technically own this army to some degree. I could try
so
it.
you could play it, yeah.
I could. They're not really built entirely, and very unpainted for the most part. But maybe,
It might be fun there.
or maybe this is the time to sell it.
Yeah.
Especially if they turn out to be good. But
Yeah. It's just like I don't have enough time to play all the armies I think are cool, you know?
no, I mean, how many games do I get in? I get in very, very few.
Yeah. This army's cool though overall. I'm actually really impressed with what they did. The fatal flaw is it's full of dwarves. Well-
That's not a flaw. Get out of here, Alice.
Yeah, some people would say that about Lumineth though. The fatal flaw is full of elves, huh?
Some might say that.
Yeah, my fatal flaw is that they're all alive, right?
Exactly.
But I've always thought about like a really fun kit bash army would be like Skaven and Skyboats, just counting as KO.
I've seen those before. They're sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think they did like a bunch of like lanes and stuff and all kinds of crazy contraptions.
Yeah. So if you're taking a chemist, why 15 Thunderers? Because if you're keeping them in the Ironclad or frigate to skirmish the board edges, then you'd be able to have them on the ground for the chemist. What do you mean? If you put them in the Ironclad, I think it's fine. Yeah, I see what you mean about the frigate, but you're putting your melee guys in the frigate because you're charging that thing and you're going to town. Right?
You know what? I feel like I think the list here is actually more Arcanaut companies.
Okay.
And you kind of just like use them to screen out like all the shooting you have. And just count on the fact that they can't bust, like they can only bust through so much of it a turn. And like you really like kind of turtle up to some extent, and you're just blasting.
Yeah, and you just use it to waste their time? Yeah.
Yeah, you just basically use them to waste their time, and you know they're gonna die, but that's okay. Because you're just, shooting them off the board as hard as you can.
Right.
It feels like a play anyway.
It feels like a good list, yeah.
Do they have enough damage? I think against some things they do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they might be better at taking out like more elite armies.
Definitely.
Because like,
definitely
cause,
true.
like like having like lower amount of attacks overall, I think, but like with good rends,
Mm-hmm.
like they can blast through the defenses of elite armies.
All right. Electman, you can just spend the command point to, after they move, pop out of the boat before shooting.
Yeah.
So, like, you put them in the boat to cheat movement, and then you pop them out. That's my answer to that. Or if you don't even need, like, the extra run at that point, because you're like, oh, that's a 4-up save. All right. You can keep them in. Or maybe you just don't bring the chemist and bring something else.
Yeah, I think you just finesse it, right? Like,
Yeah.
You try it out. Maybe it doesn't work. I'm always amazed at how often like you can read something and be so sure of what it does, and then you play it and you're like,
Oh,
it
hold
doesn't.
on. Yep. Yeah, this is a hard one to wrap my head around, because I can't... So my next question would be like, what power level do you think this is? Do you think this is like a B, an A, whatever?
Dude,
I'm
I
not
have
sure.
No idea.
Yeah.
Literally, it could be an F, it could be an S. I don't know. I don't play, so like the problem is, right? Like I can to some extent evaluate like a melee army,
Yeah.
right? Because like I can kind of figure out how much damage it does and like how it'll probably play. But I haven't played many shooting armies and I haven't played against many. It's all like I just don't know how it functions.
Yeah.
To a large extent. So I really can't say. I just don't know.
My gut is this is a high B right now.
There you go.
Is
That
my
seems like a
gut,
fine place
but
to be.
the problem I see is like you don't have anything that's like that insanely killy. But you probably shouldn't in an army that's all shooting and all like super fast.
Yeah.
But like you have a lot more bodies than I thought you would have. Or maybe that changes once you put lists together, because like boats are expensive.
Pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and then you have a 4-up rally. And like the only way they can get to you is that shooting you. Like, okay.
Yeah, 4-up rally is pretty good against that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
I think overall though, like this book doesn't seem to have like fundamental issues. Like it actually seems pretty well designed, pretty sleek.
Yeah.
Like another great 3rd edition book. I like it a lot, but
I have an inkling that like streaming with Arcanaut companies is gonna be like key to playing this book. It's just a thought. Because like I feel like there's too many like Alpha Strike things that could just like absolutely decimate your best units. And like I think you're really gonna need to play with those and like position them correctly.
And they're aggressively costed in my mind.
Yeah. And like it's gonna give you like so much extra survivability, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I can see that, but you also have like the optionality for basically 2 unleash hells. Because you can unleash hell, and then you have the footnote.
Yeah, the once per game. Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe you definitely want at least 2 in my mind, I think.
What was that?
I think you definitely want at least 2 Arcanauts.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Because like, well, you can position it too, right? That like you can unleash hell when they charge into the Arcanauts.
Yeah.
Right? Waste their turn, hit them for a pile, and then they charge in the next turn against the thing you actually care about, and then you hit them again.
Mm-hmm.
All the while you're shooting them.
Yeah.
Now, the other weird thing about shooting, though, is like, it's only on your turn.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, so many, like, combat can happen on both people's turns, so it's like, man, evaluating range damage is so difficult.
But I guess if you have 2 boats full of dudes, you can just put, like, one on one side and one on the other, and then they can't really alpha both of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, man.
But, like, how are you scoring points also, is my question.
Right, which is the Arcanaut Company's job.
Yeah, well, to some extent. I don't know. I feel like if the enemy, like, balls up, you can't take that point, like, no matter what.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, which has traditionally been the problem with this army.
Yeah, so you kind of have to, like...
Like, if you're fighting Nurgle and, like, the Realmstone Cache, like, get fucked, idiot, I guess.
Yeah, like, you're not going to be able to do anything against that, I feel like.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Yeah, it seems like a very, like, skirmish-heavy army. Like, you're gonna, like, the more objectives on the board, the better.
Yeah.
Because you're fast, you can get there, you can get to them. and you can skirmish like a couple units off pretty easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, my gut is like the average player is gonna be like B tier. And for like a really good player, it might be closer to A.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, I think S is a little pushing it.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
unless this is way more aggressively costed than we think. Which,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm excited to see how this goes. And like this is a book I expected to be like, you know, like ogres or giants, where I'm like, my eyes are glazing over towards the end. I'm like, I don't care. But like,
This one was definitely more. I was way more interested in this book than like those.
and like, I don't know. I just really like the way this book's written. Which is something I never thought I'd say about
Kharadron Overlords.
Yeah, and it makes me very hopeful for Seraphon.
Yep.
Because that's like a nightmare book, and if they rewrite it in like a very similar vein of like keeping the spirit, but like it's just this book's so sleek, like it's so good.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah. So again, like I don't think we've seen like a really poorly written book so far. Like we've seen some that are like not as good, but
I think one thing that helped this book review also is that we got to the end of the units and it was like, oh, that's it. Okay. We did it. Whereas like some of the armies that have like, you know, like 20 years worth of 30 years worth of models, it's like, all right.
You know what though, like I'm fine with that, like an army not having a ton of models, because it feels like they have like everything they need. Like they have the different boat sizes. They have like the different melee units, one with like just damage and one with utility. They have a really good shooting unit. They have a good chaff unit, and then they have like a really good selection of heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I totally agree.
They feel like they have everything they need. Like this is great. Mm-hmm. Anything that can aggressively save stack or anything that ignores rend. Yeah. Overall, like this probably has some big weaknesses and some maps that it plays terribly into.
I think so. Yeah.
But that's probably the thing keeping it back. I like its design a lot.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts before we call it a night here? It's getting a little late.
I think I said my piece there.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us today. Next week, I'm not sure what we'll do. We'll figure it out though. But